And if the seats were empty, I would speak to the empty seats, because in my mind and in my my heart, the spirits of our ancestors, of our dear truth, would be sitting in those seats. A long line of men who have put their lives on the line, and women who have put their lives on the line so that we could have what we covet the most. Don't you know why you're here? You're not here because you want to hear me beat up on Islam. You're here because our original religion is ma'at, it's truth. We love truth. We can't get enough of it. But everybody and their mother and their father has gone out of their way to give us anything else but. The only thing they want to give us is a version. Everybody wants to give us a version. Truth doesn't have versions. Ma'at doesn't have versions. You're here because you are presuming that I'm going to present truth to you. In the end, you will have to make that decision. I know what resonates with me as truth, and so you're getting the opportunity to share in my standard of truth. That's what this is. You have an opportunity and a privilege to share in my standard of truth. And it's not a standard that comes easy. Believe me when I tell you. So I need a volunteer for the audience. Well, the first thing I want to say to all those people out there that send me fan mail on Facebook and YouTube, unbelievable stuff. The love, because sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. I'm not going to even lie. I want to thank you for all of the security and protection you sent down here for me. I'm being sarcastic. Real talk. Y'all love me. Y'all supposed to send people to protect me. Protect the people who are bringing you things that you value. If you're not, I learned something. I used to work for Italians. I'm not going to tell you what kind of Italians because I could get in trouble. Take my word for it. I used to work for Italians, the kind you watch in the movies. And they taught me something. It was a great learning lesson in my life. They taught me that what you cannot protect, you do not own. That's what they taught me. The greatest fundamental lesson I learned from Italians. And these are some deep people. They taught me that if you can't protect it, you don't own it. And it's just really that simple.
All right, let's get it on.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. I don't know if you know what you're looking at, but this is it's a flashback from the last lecture. What you're looking at on the left is an artist's rendition of a 4th century Christian Nestorian Persian nun, dressed in what's called purdah. Some people call it a burqa, but it's basically a style of dress called purdah. Ali Muhammad, who is not well these days, he's not sitting well these days because of my diatribe, he wanted to respond from way back wherever he is to this image. And he said, that has nothing to do with Islam, that's purdah. So why don't you tell that to the sisters who are dressing like that? Tell them to take it off. It's not African, it's Persian.
Facts.
It comes from a Persian word, purdah, which means curtain. Look it up. I ain't make it up. He said that, in fact, I learned that from him when he tried to refute me on this page. I said, well, let me just look and see what he's saying. He said, no, that's not has nothing to do with Islam. It has nothing to do with Islam. It's purdah, it's Persian. Well, tell that to sisters who are walking around dressed like that. Whether they're in America, Africa, or the Middle East, wherever they are. That's not the cult of your ancestors. You're dressing like someone else. That's, you know, I'm just saying. So, all right. I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to stop playing with you guys. The last thing I wanted to tell you was tonight's dedication is dedicated to Tupac Amaru Shakur. Why? Because he dedicated his career. If you listen to his music as opposed to the music of all the other rappers combined, every last breath out of his mouth was laced with truth. Ma'at. I told you what our religion was. It's Ma'at. You didn't have to agree with him. He wasn't always correct, but he spoke from his heart. In ancient Kemet, that's called, this is what we call life. In ancient Kemet, they call it the time of follow the heart. That's what he did. And when I used to bodyguard celebrities like Will Smith or Prince or who else? Mary J. Blige. When I used to bodyguard these people, I needed courage because I was around guns all the time. Bad boy, rough riders, all these crazy, you know, it's crazy. And even though I had one too, it didn't alleviate the fear. What alleviated the fear was listening to Tupac. I resonated with that realness because it resonated with the real inside of me. And so that's who I dedicate this lecture to. And make sure that when you pop this up, that you put his picture up when I say that. All right? Okay, here we go. Go forward, my brother. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. No, go the other direction. There you go. That's forward. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going till I tell you to stop. Folks, I can't cover a lot of things that you missed. You're going to have to see it when the lecture is posted on YouTube because we want to take advantage of the time. I'm not sharing the space with anybody tonight because I get to finish the lecture tonight. This will be my final lecture on Islam. After tonight, I will not mention Islam again in any lecture. I will not mention Islam again in any casual conversation. I did this because it was asked of me to do it. Because most people would not touch it. Primarily because they were scared. I'm sorry. Go back. Go back. Because I wasn't looking. Keep going. I should have been looking. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Back in the other direction. Just follow my lead. Back in the other direction. Here we go. Back in the other direction. Okay. I'll come to that stuff later if I have time. Go back. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, right there, go back. Okay, here we go. This is for the purpose of the video, because we have to start where we left off from. This is where I left off from. So what I will do to be fair, could you go the opposite direction, just one, so I can see what came before it? Okay, all right, I'm not going to touch that. Let's start from Nahada. Here we go. Nahada City. The title of this lecture is The Jewish Reality of Islam. I'm not here to bash Islam. I'm here to change your angle of vision so that you can see Islam from another paradigm, a more clearer one, so that when you're looking at it, you're not looking at it through the eyes of the mythology. Here we go. Nahada Day. You see that red dot? That's Iraq. That's on the Tigris River. Okay? The Tigris River, Euphrates, I always get them mixed up. But that's in Iraq. This is the Christian Jewish seat of the origin of Islam. Okay? This is geography. Hey, it even gives you hey, there's some tape on there on the wall. Can we get that off of there? I don't know. Alright. It gives you the coordinates. 33, 25, 11, N, 43, 18 degrees, 45 east, or north, whatever. I'm not making it up. It's there. It exists. Okay? Let's read it. Nahada, or Nahada, Aramaic, Nahada, the river of knowledge, was a city of Babylonia situated at or near the junction of the Euphrates with the Nar al-Malka, also known as Nar Shadi, al-Malka, Nar al-Malik, and the King's Canal. One of the earliest centers of what? Babylonian Judaism. You are all literate. If I ask you to read something, please read it aloud. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, all of you, I'd appreciate it. One of the earliest centers of Babylonian Judaism. Nahada emerges clearly into the light of history at the end of the Tanaitic period. Shela's school was then prominent. Shela, I presume, is a Jew, and served to pave the way for the activity of the Babylonian academies. The Babylonian academies, everybody's always asking me about the origin of Islam and who created the Quran. I keep telling people, you have to learn about the Mesopotamian university system. If you don't know about the Mesopotamian university system, then you are going to be in the dark. Anytime the subject of Islam comes up, you are going to be in the dark. I am sharing very sensitive information with you. probably won't even walk down the street without my thing in my waist anymore. So here we go. Okay? The Babylonian academies. Do you see it? I should have highlighted it. I didn't see it when I was putting it up there. Samuel ben Abba, whose father Abba ben Abba was an authority in the Nahada, established the reputation of its academy, while Abba Arika, who likewise taught there for a time, made surah. What do you call a chapter in the Quran? In the Quran? Say it.
Surah.
It's called a surah. A chapter in the Quran is called a surah. You're about to find out why it's called a surah. Abba bin Abba was an authority in the Nahada that established the reputation of its academy, while Abba Arika, who likewise taught there for a time, made surah. What is surah? It's one of the Babylonian, it was one of the Jewish Babylonian academies. What does it say up top? It's highlighted. One of the earliest centers of Babylonian Judaism, Nahada. Right here, it says, Nahada established a reputation of its academy, while Abba Arika, who likewise taught there for a time, made Surah, Nahada, situated the seat of an academy destined to achieve a still greater reputation. So now, you're going to learn why a chapter in the Quran is called a surah. Go to the next page. Nahada 2. The history of Nahada is summed up in that of Samuel's activity. Soon after his death, 254, it was destroyed by Papa ben Nessa. So this is Babylonia in the 3rd century. There's no Islam on the scene. Doesn't exist yet. But you have a Jewish academy called Surah. In 259, and its place as seat of the 2nd academy was taken by Pumbedita. Well, you all know about Pumbedita University, the Jewish university in Mesopotamia. I can see it on your face. You all know about Nahada, the Jewish center of Babylonia that had this Judaic. Go to the next page, please, my brother. What's your name, brother? Dejante. Thank you, Dejante. I'm in good hands. The ancestor sent me a strong warrior. Nahada Academy. Nahada Academy. Oh, now we're at the academy. But not just in the city of Nahada. I wanted to give you both. The city and now the university. So let's look at it. You see, Professor, well, before I read that, Dr. Wesley Muhammad made a videotape called The End of Ghetto Scholarship, where he lambasted Dr. Walter Williams. The first thing I want to tell you about that is that what Wesley Muhammad did was he used what is called academic mythology. There are a lot of things in academia that can pass off as truth if you don't know how to watch it, if you don't know how to look at it, if you don't know how to see it, read it for what it actually is. You have to have a trained eye. He used a lot of academic mythology because what Walter Williams said was correct when he said the Jews created Islam. He says that in Historical Origin of Christianity. But he didn't go into detail. That's what made me find all of this. I'm paranoid and I'm inquisitive. I'm a Gemini. I can't help myself. Yeah, like Pop. Gemini. And Vicky too, right? So, here we go. Welcome to my search. Nahada Academy, previously also named Beth Hamidrash, the college, the house of study, or the boundary, was one of the biggest Jewish yeshiva academies in Babylon, active intermittently at various times since the beginning of the period of the Amoraim, and until the end of the Goinim period. It was established by the Amor Samuel of Nahada, one of the greatest sages of Babylon. Among the famous sages who headed the academy, one can note Samuel of Nahada, Rav Nakam, and more. Samuel went to Nahada and founded the Yeshiva Academy of Nahada, which in time thousands of students settled in it. This academy, along with the what? Surah Academy. This Jewish academy that they're talking about, along with Nahada Academy, right? He says, Samuel went to Nahada and founded the Yeshiva Academy of Nahada, which in time thousands of students settled in it. This academy, along with the Surah Academy, which was founded by Abba Arika, you better believe he was not a Muslim. He was a Jew, a Babylonian Jew. Islam does not exist yet, but you have a Surah University.
Damn.
Okay. Here we are. Opened a new, it was founded by Abu Arika, called Rav, opened a new era in Jewish history, an era which Babylon was the center of Judaism. Now you don't understand what this means, how deep this thing really was. Babylon was not just the center of Judaism for the Jews in Babylon, it was the center for worldwide Judaism. Jews nowhere, let's give it up for Imam Bashir. My brother. Absolutely. Didn't bring the wife, the queen. She's not with you. I love her when she comes. She's a wonderful person. She's a wonderful spirit. No Jew on the planet during this time made a move unless they consulted the Jewish academies in Babylonia during this period. No Jew in the North Pole, no Jew in Germany, no Jew in the South Pole, no Jew in the Bronx in the 2nd century AD, no Jew in Riverdale, no Jew on the Lower East Side, no Jew in Palestine, no Jew in Italy, no Jew anywhere in the world made a move unless they consulted this academy, these academies. The same way Islam has its 4 academies set up to decide what is and what is not in Islam. Now you know where they got it from. They used a model. Let's go to the next slide. Now, Harvard Academy too. After Abu Arika's death, many students from the what academy? What is that? Say it again. Surah Academy. So when you're speaking to a Muslim and he wants to know what Jewish college you're talking about, say it loud. What is it? Surah Academy. So they want to read from Surah. It's Surah 1, Surah 2, Surah 3. I say, wait a minute, let me read you from real Surah.
Go ahead.
Okay? You keep your chapter. I'm going to give you the university.
Where it come from.
Okay? Most dangerous thing on the planet, an African with a brain. You wonder why they came into Egypt and why they did us the way they did and why they forbid us to learn to read and write in this country? They understand that what we have is much more exceptional than what they have. It's not your butt that matters. It's not your hair. It's what's underneath that hair. It's what's behind your eyes. That's what matters. Let's get it. Where we at, folks? After Abu Arika's death, many students from the Surah Academy moved to the Nahada Academy, which was headed by Samuel, despite the fact that Rav Khan III from Nahada Academy was subordinated to Surah Academy. From the time Abu Arika died and onwards, many times the heads of the Nahada Academy came to visit Rav Khan and Pum Nahada with the intention of strengthening the ties between the 2 academies. This reinforcement of ties between Nahada and Pum Nahada is attested by the fact that Kahana III gave his funeral oration to Rav David of Nahada at Pum Nahada, a funeral oration, most probably in conjunction with the fact that Rav Kahana III was a disciple of Rav Zevid of Nahada. After the death of Samuel, the academy split. The academy itself, headed by Rav Huna, a disciple of Samuel, moved where? To Surah. While another student of Abu Arika and Shmuel, Judah ben Ezekiel, founded what? The Pumbedita Academy. That's from, you want sources? Jewish Encyclopedia, a descriptive record of the history, volume 9, edited by Isidore Singer, Cyrus Adler. Because you're going to say Shakka said it. And that's a lie. I never share my own beliefs with anybody, they're personal. You have never once in any lecture heard me share a belief. I don't do beliefs. I'm giving you evidence. You do with it what you will. Belief! Oh! Okay, let's go to the next slide. Pumbedita City. See, I always give you the city first so you can locate it. You see the coordinates up there? I didn't write that. See the coordinates? I'm giving you the city first. Pumbedita, sometimes Pumbedita. Pumbedita and Pumbedisa was the name of a city in ancient Babylonia close to the modern day city of Fallujah. You are hear about Fallujah on the news every day. If you're listening to the news, warring in Iraq, fighting in Fallujah, the Marines in Fallujah, well yeah, there you go. You didn't know it was all Jewish. Before Islam came on the scene, it was all Jewish. That whole area, Iraq, you know, Saddam Hussein, when you think about that, we constantly think of Muslims, Islam, and no, it was Jewish. Okay? Pumbedita, sometimes Pumbedita, was the name of a city in ancient Babylon close to the modern-day city of Fallujah. The city had a large Jewish population and was famed for its Talmudic academy scholarship. Was famed for its Talmudic Academy scholarship that, together with the city of Surah, gave rise to the Babylonian Talmud. The academy there was founded by Judah ben Ezekiel in the late 3rd century. So you got Surah Academy in Iraq, Surah, a Jewish academy in a Jewish city in Iraq. There's no Islamic Surah in existence anywhere at this time. The only people that can say Surah at this time are the Jews. I didn't write that. Go to the next page, please. Pumbedita. Folks, learn, you see what those red dots are? I'm gonna show you a little trick. It helped me. You see those 2 blue bodies of water right there? 1, 2. See it? Always keep your eyes on that area, because this is the area we are going to unmask. This area right here, okay? I don't even know the name of those lakes. I would love to know. Hey, I need to find out, right? But those 2 bodies of water, this is the early millennium area in the Common Era, where Judaism was going on a level that you and me have no knowledge of. Well, I got knowledge of it. And now, because y'all messing with me, y'all got knowledge of it. This was big Judaism. Their own university system. Okay? Pumbedita Academy. Sometimes Pumbedita. Pumbedita was a Jewish academy. Did I read that already? Okay, let me read it anyway. Along with the Surah Academy. At the time, the Academy of Pumbedita Surah became the most influential. I don't know if I read. Did I read this already, folks? I did the whole thing? Did I read this already? Well, y'all ain't paying attention, I'm reading it again. Pumbedita Academy. Pumbedita Academy, sometimes Pumbedita, Pumbedita, or Pumbedisa, was a Jewish yeshiva academy in Babylon during the era of the Jewish Amora and Gonim sages. The academy, those are the titles of the people who taught there, the Amora and the Gonim. The academy was founded at the beginning of the 2nd generation of the Amora by R. Judah ben Ezekiel, and was active as an influential and dominant Jewish academy for how long? Almost 1,000 years. 2 centuries short of 1,000 years. You got all this Judaism going on in Iraq. Nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever talks about it. I'm just a dumb black man on the bus. What the hell I know about that? Okay, I'll show you what you know about it. 800 years they're getting down. Along with what academy? Surah Academy. At the time, the academy, the Pumbedita and Surah, became the most influential and dominant yeshivas of the Jewish community's world. No, I made it up. And all Torah decrees and other religious rulings were issued from these yeshivas to all Jewish diaspora. That means the entire Jewish world. This was their seat at the Surah Academy. I told you that the Quran is a map, and that whoever wrote it used terminology so that they would not forget where it came from. This is what I have been telling you since the beginning. Let's go to the next slide. Pumbedita Academy 2. Along with the sealing of the Talmud by Ravina at Surah City, the era of the Savora sages has begun years, 5th to 6th century CE, in which most part of that period, proper studying on a regular basis did not take place in Surah Academy, only in Pumbedita, due to the pogroms against the Jewish community in Surah. After the pogroms reached Pumbedita as well, the heads of the yeshiva had to move the Pumbedita Academy to Feruz Shapur for a course of around 50 years. Feruz Shapur. Don't forget that name. Write it down. You don't write it down, I'm gonna fail you. Okay? Alright. Wow, 10th grade high school dropout gets to fail me. I like that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Feruz Shapur for a course of around 50 years until it was re-inaugurated by Ar-Hanan of Ischia at Pumbedita city in the year 589. It's the 6th century, folks. No Islam is around yet. In fact, Muhammad is supposed to be just being born, right? 589? He's born what? 570. Allegedly, so Muhammad is purportedly born at this time according to the narrative. Okay? During the era of the Goni, the two Talmudic academies were correspondingly active as well. One of Pumbedita's Gaons, a title for the deans of these academies during the Gonom era, Arhai bin David, approximately in the year 890, moved the academy to Baghdad. Because you all knew that there was this big Jewish academy in Baghdad, right? Because your first and second grade teacher told you about it, right? No, your junior high school teacher told you about it. No, your high school teacher told you about it. Your college professor told you about it. None of them told you about it because they think that it can't fit into your little brain. And you believe them that it can't fit into your little brain. Here we go. All right? The number of Jews making a living from agriculture grew smaller, and they were constantly moving to the big cities, mainly to Baghdad, apart from the phenomenon of the Jewish immigration settling outside of Babylonia. However, the academy's name remained Pumbedita Academy despite its relocation. Thousands of letters with halakhic issues attached were received at Pumbedita, addressed to the heads. Halakhic means the official way something is done in Judaism. And so all of the people in the world, when they had a question, all of the Jews in the world, when they had a question, they would send their questions to this institution, this Jewish institution that was affiliated with the other Jewish institution called Surah Academy in Baghdad. But I'm making it up. Okay? Thousands of letters with halakhic issues attached were received at Pumbedita, addressed to the heads of the academy and from all around the Jewish diaspora, and the Gonim of the academy worked hard to respond to their questions. The Cambridge History of Judaism, Volume 4, the late Roman Rabbinic Period, edited by William David Davies, Louis Finkelstein, Stephen R.T. Katz. Can we go to the next one? All right, I'll start timing myself. Here we go. Hey!
Surah.
Hey, brother, let me quote Surah 1. Let me quote Surah 560. Let me quote Surah. No, I'm going to quote Surah. I'm going to quote Surah 6.
Go ahead, Shakka.
Okay? I'm going to quote the Jewish city called Surah. Surah was a city in the southern part of ancient Babylonia, located west of the Euphrates River. It was well known for its agricultural produce, which included grapes, wheat, and barley. It was also a what? Surah city was a major center of Torah scholarship. But the Jews didn't create Islam. The Jews didn't give us the Quran. The Jews didn't give us that story. Okay. But the main center of Torah scholarship was in Surah city. Here we go. Where we have? Oh, here we go. And it was also home of an important yeshiva, which together with the yeshivas in Pumbedita and Nahada gave rise to the Babylonian Talmud. Now you know where the Babylonian Talmud came from, people. Alright? According to Rav Sharira Gaon, Surah was identical to the town of Mata Mahaisa, which is also mentioned in the Talmud. Hello? Which is also mentioned in the Talmud many times. Either as a nearby town or a suburb of Surah. And the Talmudist Academy in Meta Mahaisa was sometimes moved or served as an additional branch of the Talmudist Academy of Surah. Academy of Surah. The academy at Surah was founded by Rav Abba Arika in the 3rd century. Go to the next page. Surah city, a Syriac source. A what source? Syriac. There's no Islam on the scene here, people. And we all up in Surah. We all up in Jewish Surah. Okay? A Syriac source inscribed it as a town completely inhabited by what? No, it says Muslims, doesn't it? It's Surah. Surah we hear, Surah is always connected with the Quran, so it should be inhabited by Muslims, right? But it's not, it's inhabited by what? Say it louder. Thank you. Situated between Mahose, i.e. Al-Mandain, and what? Al-Hira. What did we learn about Al-Hira, boys and girls, in the last lecture? Anytime you hear the term Al-Hira, that is Christianity. It's a Christian stronghold. Do I need to take you back to Al-Hira? I'm going to use you as my guy. Should we go back to Al-Hira to remind them? Okay, we're not going to do that then. Al-Hira is where you get the beginnings of the Arabic script. In Kufa, it's called Kufic writing, but it does not come from Kufa. It actually came from Al-Anbar and Al-Hida, two Christian strongholds. I showed the documentation for that already. I don't have to show it again. Consult the tape. Al-Hida in southern Iraq. So now you got Judaism and Christianity all up in here. Islam is not on the scene yet. We are in a Jewish city called Surah, at a Jewish academy called Surah, and it's situated, it's right next to a Christian town in southern Iraq. A response from Rabbi Natroni Gaon says that Surah was about 6 kilometers from Al-Hira. So you had the, I hate this light, this little red thing, it's too small. You have Surah, which is a Jewish city, Jewish academy, about 6 kilometers from Al-Hira, a Christian stronghold. All of this is 800 years, almost 1,000 years before Islam was on the scene. So that's from Islamic countries in the Middle, Jews in Islamic countries in the Middle Ages. That's from, he's not talking about in that particular passage I just quoted, he's not talking about the Islamic age yet. It just happens to be from a book called Jews in Islamic Countries in the Middle Ages. But he's referencing an earlier time. Go to the next slide, please. Hey, seriously, this is the book that it came from. Jews in Islamic Countries in the Middle Ages by Moshe Gil. So you can, that's the source, you can go get it. A quote from the text. Rav Himuna resided there, and there is still his grave there, beginning of the 4th century. Woo! Surah University, 4th century, there's no Islam on the scene. So when somebody's telling me, I want to read from Surah 1, I want to read from Surah 2, or the Surah of the cow, so stop them. Wait a minute. If we're going to talk about surahs, we have to talk about the Jewish university called Surah, in the Jewish Babylonian town called Surah. Don't you ever forget that. You don't let anybody insult intelligence. Okay? Where we at? Okay, Gil Moshe, okay, about the author. Okay, let's see if the author has any scholarship under his belt. Moshe Gil is a PhD, 1970, Oriental Studies, University of Pennsylvania, Professor Emeritus of Jewish History at Tel Aviv University. He has published extensively on medieval Jewish and Arab history. His publications in English include documents of the Jewish Pious Foundation from the Cairo, Geniza, 1976, and the History of Palestine, 634-1099. Let's go, Cambridge University Press. Go to the next one. Hey! Does it say NYU? Does it say Hunter College? Does it say Princeton? Does it say Harvard? No. What university is that called? What? Surah University. Surah Academy. Surah Academy was a Jewish yeshiva academy in Babylon, one of the 2 major Jewish academies, along with the Pumbedita Yeshiva University, from the beginning of the era of the Amorta sages and up to the end of the era of the Goinim. The Yeshiva Academy was founded by the Amorta Abba Arika Rav, a disciple of Judah Hanasi. Among the well-known sages who headed the yeshiva, one can know Rav Huna, Rav Chiza, Rav Ashi, Yudai Gaon, Natronai Gaon, Saidia Gaon, and more. Abba Arika Rav arrived at Surah City to find no lively religious public life, and since he was worried about the community of the Jewish community in Babylon, he left Nehardada and his colleague Samuel of Nehardada. This is what the academy, it's a rendition of what any one of the generic academies would have looked like. Okay? Probably Hamlet's, you know, you just have to picture it in your mind. You're talking about from the 2nd to, no, I don't know, 4th, 5th century, even 6th century. This is going on. Let's go to the next page, because it's going to get hot, trust me. And begin to, and I don't mean, I mean up there it's going to get hot. Academy, Surah Academy. And begin to establish the foundation for the Yeshiva Academy of Surah. Upon the arrival of Abba Arika at Surah City, many disciples begin thronging to the academy. Not necessarily from Surah City, but also from other places. The establishment of the academy Surah was in what year? 225 AD. That means the Jews had a university called Surah in the 3rd century CE. There is no Islam. There is no Muhammad. There's no Quran. Actually, there is a Quran. But it's not an Islamic or Muslim Quran. We'll get to that. Damn. Okay?
Shakka going in tonight.
And around 67 years after Abba Arika's arrival at Babylon, at times the academy was moved to Matamahaisha, a suburb of Surah City. And after a while, a Torah Center was founded there as well. Abba Arika's Yeshiva Academy included 1,200 disciples. Since it addressed a large community, the Yeshiva Academy was divided into sections. The sections, etc., a covering way leading up to the house of the Ketun, room that served for the special needs of the rabbi, whatever. Ganada and Orchard, they got all these parts to the university. It's like if you go to Columbia, over here at the cafeteria, over here at the dorms, over here, so they had all these different parts. I'm not detailing that. Let's go to the next one. We got more important stuff to deal with. A list of Surah Academy's deans. So if you want to go to the article, let's go to YouTube and go to YouTube and type in Surah Academy. That's all you got to do.
Type in what?
Type in, go to YouTube and just type in Surah Academy. Go to YouTube and just type in Surah City. They're not hiding any of this. You don't need to go to a specialized book to find this. It's on freaking YouTube. Okay? Come on. Alright? Let's go with the program, people. Alright? Oh, but you can find it in the other Hebrew or Jewish encyclopedias and all those other highfalutin books that you like, because you like hardcore sources. So we're going to give them to you. Alright, let's go ahead and see the Wikipedia link on the bottom so you can see it. Surah Academy. That's all you have to do. Go there and you can read about who the deans were. I'm not going to read their names. Let's go to the next one. Haditha. What do they call the sayings outside of the Quran?
Hadith.
Say it.
Hadith.
I can't hear you.
Hadith.
We Africans, we do call and response. What do they call the sayings outside of the Quran?
Hadith.
Hadith. Let me introduce you to the let me introduce you to Haditha. Okay. And there it is again. I keep telling you, keep your eyes on this area in Iraq, along the Tigris and Euphrates, in Mesopotamia, Babylon, this whole area, because this is where it all comes from. Haditha. Haditha is a city in the western Iraqi Al-Anbar governing. When I tell you about Anbar, remember Anbar, the Christian stronghold. For those who were here at the last one, we showed the documentation. Anbar, where we get the origins of the Kufic script, which is the earliest Quranic text or script. Abd al-Malik, Dome of the Rock. Okay? Hadith is a city in the western Iraqi Al-Anbar Governorate, about 240 kilometers northwest of Baghdad. It is a farming town situated on the Euphrates River. They're the coordinates, you can read them yourself. Its population of around 100,000 people. It's predominantly Sunni Muslim Arab. The city lies near the Buhayrat al-Qadisiyah, an artificial lake which was created by the building of the Haditha Dam, the largest hydroelectric facility in Iraq. On 19 November 2005, 24 Iraqi non-combatants, including 11 women and children, were killed by 12 Marines from 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. The U.S. military is investigating these actions. A captain and lieutenant colonel have been relieved of duty. Another captain was relieved of it. I wanted to show you this because if you watch the news, you will see that this place is in the news every day. It's in the news every day, and it's under an Al-Anbar government, a Christian government. Because all of you know what's going on in Iraq right now. And you all know what's going on in Syria right now with the Christians over there, right? That the Muslims want to make disappear. But I'll explain to you the real beef between Christians and Muslims as we go on, if I get time. Let's go to the next one. Hey, okay, some allege, okay, with the same massacre that we're talking about that was in the newspapers, when this is from the Iraqi war, when some Marine over there in Haditha killed some innocent people, women, children, and everything. So the rest of the article continues. Some allege the massacre was in retribution for an incident earlier in the day in which U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Miguel Terrazas was killed in a roadside bomb attack on Marines from Kilo Company. August 2006, a commission reviewing the killings found probable cause for charging the Marines. That's from the U.S. probe implicates Marines conflict in Iraq, MSNBC.com. I'm not making this up. Go to the next one. Haditha. Hadada. What do they call Hadada today? Haditha. Okay? In Arabic, Al-Haditha was a historical city, not a mythological city, because I'm not making this up. It's a historical city on the east bank of the Tigris, just below its confluence with the Upper Zab. The city flourished, it's right up here, I'll show you where it is. See that arrow is? I actually put that Haditha there on the map because it doesn't show it on the map that I was looking at, but I already knew what the coordinates were. So I just put it right there. See where it says Upper Zab River? Right here? That's where Haditha is right there. Okay? So it's all along this Tigris Euphrates region. The city flourished during the Sasanian and early Islamic periods. The town was apparently established by the Sasanians. Those are the Persians, people. All right? Hence its Persian name, Nokon, literally newly founded, which corresponds with its Syriac and later Arabic names. Okay? According to al-Baladudi, the town gained its name when the inhabitants of Firuz Shabor, these are Christians. Anybody coming from Firuz Shabor at this time, anybody who's coming from Firuz Shabor is coming from Al-Anbar. Al-Anbar is an Arab Christian stronghold, the former kingdom of the Lakhmids. Don't forget this. Al-Hida, Al-Anbar, the two neighboring cities, these are Christian strongholds. So when he's telling you, I have to translate some of this for you because you missed some of the first one. You missed a lot of the first one, all of it. For this Shabor, it said that the town gained its name when the inhabitants of Firuz Shabor of central Mesopotamia migrated to this location and transferred the name of their newly founded city with them. That means they went from here, right around, which would have been right, oh here's Baghdad. So they went from here, this region, and then they migrated up here, these Christians, all right? They were actually probably Jewish Christians, and they migrated, because they all come from Syria and all this area, and they migrated up here to Haditha, from where you get your Hadith. So you already have your Jewish Surah, now you have your Christian Judeo Hadith. Let's go to the next one. Firuz Shabor, this is an interjection. Anbar, okay. Anbar was originally called Firuz Shabor. There it is, Anbar. And we just said that they came from, the people who created Haditha came from Firuz Shabor. So let's check out Firuz Shabor, or Anbar. Anbar was originally called Firuz Shabor, a Middle Persian name which means victorious Shapur. It was also known as Firuz Shabor and became known as petty supporter to the Greeks and the Romans. The city was founded in the 4th century by Shapur II, Sassanid king of Persia. Petty Supporter was sacked and burned by Emperor Julian in the 4th century during his invasion of the Sassanid Empire. The town became what? A refuge for the Arab, Christian, and Jewish colonies. Let me break that line for you. They're not talking about 3 different demographics. They're not talking about Arabs and Christians and Jewish colonies. They're talking about Christian and Jewish Arab colonies. I'll say it again. Christian and Jewish Arab colonies. You have to read that sentence correct. The town became a refuge for the Arab, Christian, and Jewish colonies. You got that? Of that region. According to medieval Arabic sources, most of the inhabitants of the town migrated north to find the city of Hadada, or Hadith. Okay, Haditha, south of Mosul. Anbar was adjacent or identical to the Babylonian Jewish center of Neharda. When Walter Williams tells you that Jews created Islam, or that Jews wrote the Quran, he knows what he's talking about. Okay, let's get to the next one. Anbar was adjacent or identical to the Babylonian Jewish center of Neharda and lies a short distance from the present-day town of Fallujah, formerly the Babylonian Jewish center of the University of Pumbeditha. Go to the next one, please. Firuz Shabor, this is from the World Heritage Encyclopedia. All right, the other one was from Wikipedia, now I'm giving you the World Heritage Encyclopedia. Firuz Shabor, Anbar, was a town in Iraq at latitude 33 degrees, 22 degrees north long, longitude 40 degrees, blah, 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 on the east bank of the Euphrates, just south of the Nar Isa. Just south of what? The Nar Isa. You ever heard the name Isa? All of my Islamicists? You ever heard the name, Malik, you ever heard the name Isa?
That's what in Arabic is Jesus.
That, in Arabic they tell you that's Jesus, right? Isa. Okay, well here. This place, Al-Anbar, Firuz Shabor, that was a Christian Jewish stronghold. It was right next to this place called Nar Isa. Nar Isa is a river, it's a lake, it's a river. We're going to talk about that river. I told you the Quran is a map. Whoever put the terminology in that book, put it there so that those people with this history would know where it came from. Okay? They put their stamp on it. History. Anbar was originally called Firuz Shabor, a Middle Persian name which means victorious Shabor. Was also known as, we already read that. Okay, go to the next one. Hadada, Hadith. The city became known as a bishopric center of the Church of the East. Do you remember when I showed you that woman, that Christian woman that was dressed like she had a burqa on? Remember when I showed you that? That was the Church of the East in Haditha. Okay? The city became known as the bishopric center of the Church of the East within the ecclesiastical province of Adiabene. Don't forget Adiabene, because Adiabene was a Christian kingdom, modern day Armenia. It extended all the way to modern day Armenia. There existed also a substantial number of Jews, listen now, many of whom were converted to Christianity at the hand of its bishop Titus of Hadada in the 6th century. 6th century, folks. This is when Muhammad is supposed to be doing his thing. But in this place called Haditha, or Hadith, in this place, you got Jews being forcefully converted to Christianity. Because you knew all this already. Right? Here we go. Some of Hadada's or Hadith's bishops, such as Abraham of Marga, rose to the rank of the Catholicos of the East. Others, such as Yehuda of Merv or Yehuda of Merv, authored important theological books. I can imagine which one. Okay. Sources. Shakka Ahmose, Sassanid soldiers of the early Muslim society, the origin of Aryan and Futuwah. Louis Bernard, Haditha, in Hertzfield, Encyclopedia of Islam. A History of the Jews in Babylonia, Book 5, Later Society and Times. That's perfect. Go to the next one. So now you have just seen your Christian Judeo Hadith. You saw your Christian, your Jewish Surah. Okay, so we got Surah and Hadith down. Let's go on to the next one. Moshe Zakari finished his PhD. Oh, this is the guy who just authored what we looked at. Those are his credentials. You can get the PowerPoint or look at it later and read his credentials. I'm not reading all that. Go to the next one. The guy got more PhDs in a little bit. Go to the next one. Now Isa. Hey! Everybody likes Isa, right? If you read the Quran, they teach you about Isa and Isa's Jesus.
Esau and Musa.
Right? No, they tell you Isa, I-S-A, Isa's Jesus. I told you the Quran is a map. And that the people who wrote it put terminology in there so that the people who actually had the actual history would know where it came from. Nar Isa. The Nar Isa, right there, folks. There it is. The Nar Isa, the river stream of Jesus. That's what it means, the stream of Jesus. Well, that's how it's translated. Or the Saklawe Canal, the northernmost canal connecting that river with the Tigris. Nar means river in Arabic, so it means the river Jesus. Go to the next one. Okay, the stream or the rivers. Oh, here we go. I bet you every time you see that word surah from now on, you'll never look at it the same, will you? I asked you a question.
No, sir.
Will you ever look at that word surah the same? When some Muslim starts talking about, when Dr. Wesley Muhammad and Ali Muhammad say, quote surah this, quote surah that. No, quote surah that. Alright? The stream, river of Isa. Why is that river? I just showed you a river called the River Isa. Okay, in Iraq. Now watch this. Let's read the surah. Surah 1925. And then we sent to her our angel Gabriel, and he represented himself to her as a well-proportioned man. She said, indeed, I seek refuge in most merciful from you. So leave me if you should be fearing of Allah. He said, I am only the messenger of your Lord to give you news of a pure boy. She said, how can I have a boy while no man has touched me and I have not been unchaste? He said, thus it will be. Your Lord says, it is easy for me, and we will make him a sign to the people and a mercy from us. And it is a matter already decreed. So she conceived him, and she withdrew with him to a remote place. And the pains of childbirth, talking about Mary, all right, or Miriam. And the pains of childbirth drove her to the trunk of a palm tree. She said, oh, I wish I had died before this, and I was in oblivion forgotten. But he called her from below. The baby Isa. Y'all don't know this in the Quran. When Jesus comes out of Mary, he speaks to her. Yeah, right? Okay? It's either Isa or Gabriel. But he says, somebody says, but he called her from below her. Do not grieve. Your Lord has provided beneath you a stream. A stream, a river. That's why, go back to the preceding page. No, right there. The Nar Isa, the river or the stream of Jesus. It's in this Jewish area that we've been talking about. This Jewish Christian area where all of this stuff comes from. Go back to that page. So now you got Surah.
You got Isa.
You got, what was the last one I did? Hadith.
Isa.
We got Hadith.
Yeah.
We got Isa. There it is, the river Isa. Go back, I think they think I'm making it up. I'm gonna read it again. The Nar Isa, the river stream, Jesus or Shakka Ahmose Canal, the northernmost of the canals connecting that river to the Tigris. Go and look it up, people. Google it. Okay? Google it. Nar Isa, there it is. I told you the Quran is a map. Whoever wrote it, put terminology in the book so it can be remembered where it came from. Go to the next page. Nar Isa, the stream of, no, next page. Here we go, Nar Isa third. Pronunciation, Ipanar, translation into English, river, now, large stream which drains the landmass, blah, 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 blah. Oh, let's see where it came from. What does it say here? It says, which came from the eastern Syriac. The Nar. Okay, so the term Nar comes from, well, in Arabic it's Nar Isa. In the Syriac, it's Nara, which is earlier. I tell you all the Arabic stuff comes out of the Syriac. There you have it. Okay? It's a river, a stream, or water larger than a brook or a creek, a canal, plural river, Mesopotamia, dialect, Eastern Syriac, Classical Syriac. Classical Syriac became a major literary language throughout the Middle East from the 4th century when all of this stuff is going on, all of this Jewish Christian stuff is going on and everybody's speaking Syriac, right? It tells you that the Classical Syriac became a major literary language. That means the language of reading and writing was Syriac. It was not Arabic, it was Syriac, which was the official language of Christendom, Christianity. Okay? You can read the credentials of the people on there. I ain't got time to read all of that. Claus, John F. Healy, translated in 1986. The Aramaic language is distribution and subdivisions, Göttingen University. Now that comes out of Göttingen University, which is the Germans. And as Dr. Wesley Muhammad liked to say, and I quote him verbatim from his classic lecture at the end of Ghetto Scholarship, the Germans are the best scholars when it comes to early Islam. Why? He said because they have all this time on their hands and they have all the resources. I didn't say that. Wesley Muhammad said that. You can go check the tape. Okay? I wish I knew how to put video up here because I would have had him saying it up here. Here we go. Go to the next. Which means from the Arabic term Nar for river. Which means that the Arabic term Nar for river came from the Classical Syriac word for both river and stream. Go to the next one because I'm making it up. Baghdad. There it is. Go to the next one. Okay, here we go. This is Baghdad. Baghdad in the 17th century. Okay? He had the Jewish quarter, because y'all knew about the Jewish quarter in Baghdad. Y'all knew about the Christian quarter in Baghdad. But the Islamic caliph that's running all of this wants to tell you, oh no, our book came falling out of the sky. Let's go to the next one. Baghdad. Baghdad was founded in 762 in the region of what? Of the great what? Judaic city of Nahada, Mahosa, Pumbedita, and what? Surah. In the rich agricultural and commercial heartland of Mesopotamia, the land of the two rivers, Baghdad became a thriving hub of Jewish industrial as well as intellectual and religious life. In addition to a Jewish residential quarter of the city, the west bank of the city, Al-Qarq, and its commercial and industrial center was also predominantly by the Iraqi regime after the formation of the state of Israel led to an ethnic cleansing. That's why you don't hear about Jewish Iraqis. Because it's only been in the past few years that they've been getting kicked out of it. Okay? Repressive measures taken by the Iraqi regime after the formation of the state of Israel led to an ethnic cleansing in which over 200,000 Jews were obliged to leave Iraq, including over 60,000 Jewish residents of Baghdad. People, all of this Jewish stuff going on behind the back door, but they want to, Assalamu alaikum, my brother, Surah 1, Surah 2, Surah 3, Surah 4. Oh no, that's Hadith, that's Hadith. Let me tell you about Isa. No, let me tell you about Surah. Let me tell you about Hadith, and let me tell you about Isa. Because now you just seen where it came from. You got the coordinates. You got the coordinates. You can go to online and just look it up. Put a big poster on your wall. The Quran is a map. This is not to be disrespectful to Islam, and it's not to be disrespectful to Muslims. It's just to change your angle of vision. It's a map to show you where the text came from. That's it. Go to the next one. The translation movement, because we all know about the translation movement. See, Muslims don't tell you about the translation movement when they were stealing everybody's works. And they're taking bits and pieces out and claiming it for themselves. They don't tell you about the translation movement. You know why? Because they don't know about the translation movement. Can't teach what you don't know. Let's go. Translation movement. The translation movement was a movement started in the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, which translated many Greek classics. Let me name one of those Greek classics for you. The New Testament. I'll give you, it was written in Greek. The Septuagint. The Greek Old Testament. So that means the Old Testament and the New Testament were being translated in Baghdad before. This is during the early period of Islam. Translation movement in Islamic culture by Abdullah Basran, MA, Stony Brook University philosophy graduate student. Because I made it up and because Shakka said it. No, Shakka said nothing so far. Shakka's only showing you what they don't want you to see. Go to the next one. The House of Wisdom. This is where the translation movement was going on. Let's check it out. The House of Wisdom, Bayat al-Hikmah, was a library translation institute. And why do you need to translate stuff when Allah is sending you stuff in this magical language? What you need a translation center for?
Yo, they should have left you the hell alone, man.
No, hold on, I'm saying. Why do you need a translation center under this caliph, under Al-Mamun? When Arabic supposedly came from Gabriel and it was given in a cave, what you need a translation center for, Imam Bashir? I'm asking you. I'm just asking. Okay, yeah. Why you need a translation center? To translate what you said to translate words. But you don't need a translation center for that. Yeah. Hold on, during the question and answer period. What is it? Well, go ahead, get up.
Real quick, you're saying why you need translations?
Yeah.
How will people of other language understand different texts if you don't translate it? So, just real quick.
Right, okay, so now you got to save that for the end. You got to save it for the end, I got to keep moving.
No, you got to get a question.
All right, go ahead, Bo, go ahead.
So what I'm just, give me 15 seconds. So what I'm saying is that till this day, our community has translation centers as well, where we translate the Quran in over 70 different languages so that people can understand the meaning of the Quran. So what's your point?
Thank you. Okay, you said they had translation centers so that people could understand the Quran. The only problem with that is that you just said that. I didn't make that up. I can hear everybody. I think I just heard. Did he just say that? Did he just say that, my brother? Because he's gonna say I'm lying. He just said they had translation centers so that they could translate the Quran so that other people can understand it.
I'm saying our community.
Oh, your community today. Okay, well that community back then, they were stealing other people's works. Okay, let's just keep it real. All right, here we go. I'm gonna show you who people they were stealing it from. Let's go, because they want you to think that Muhammad went into a cave. Some angel Gabriel came, and the cave is named Hira after a Christian town. They got all this Christian symbolism going on, Jewish symbolism going on, but they want you to think that this is something brand new for some tablets in heaven that Gabriel brought down. You can believe that if you want. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying amongst African people, we reserve the right to think for ourselves. We reserve the right to speak ma'at, truth. So here we go. Right? Here we go. Translation movement. It was a key institute. Oh, hold on, say it again. The House of Wisdom, Bayat al-Hikmah, was a library, translation institute, and research center established in the Abbasid era, Baghdad, Iraq. It was a key institution in the translation movement. It was a key institution in the translation movement. Key. You know what a key is, right? All right. Here we go. And is considered to have been a major intellectual hub during the Islamic Golden Age. The House of Wisdom was founded by the Caliph Harun al-Rashid and culminated under his son Al-Mamun. Woo! Wait till we get to Al-Mamun. He was something else. Who reigned from 813 and 9th century CE, and is credited with this institution. Al-Mamun is also credited with bringing many well-known scholars to share information and ideas. Since when you ever know Muslim scholars that want to share information and ideas with other people? Really, I don't know many. that want to share information and ideas. I don't know that. I don't know. Okay. So they were sharing information and ideas and culture. They wanted to share other people's culture. I don't know Muslims that want to share other people's culture. They like their own culture. They like the Quran, they like their burgers, they like, you know, they pray 5 times a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this to me just doesn't add up the way it's being told. So they wanted to share other people's cultures and ideas in the House of Wisdom, based in Baghdad from the 9th to the 13th century. Okay? Now hold on. Okay. Many learned scholars, including those of what? Persian or Christian background, were part of this research and educational institute. But they want you to think that the Quran did not come from Christians, Syriac Christians, and it was not put together by Babylonian Jews. This is who had their own university system called Surah, a Jewish university system in a Jewish town. Okay, here we go. Go to the next one, please. Next one. Oh, it's probably slowing down. Is it slowing down? Probably. Oh, come on now. Imam Bashir, are you doing some African voodoo on me? Cause I know how you Muslims like to get down about how you do voodoo. What happened? It's not working?
Oh man, that's crazy.
Can somebody grab Brother Reggie outside?
Yo, Reggie!
Well, as you can see here, we got this translation movement that most of us don't know anything about. You say it again? Could you make it go? I appreciate that. Just hit the up button. Oh.
Hey, yo, E-Man, why y'all started this dude? Why y'all waking him up, man? Why y'all wake this dude up, man?
I mean, it's nothing wrong with education. It's just education. But now look, so far, you have not heard me attack any Muslims. You have not heard me attack Islam.
That's
All
right.
I'm doing is giving you
the facts,
historical background of where this terminology comes from. Because to me, I'm a linguist. People say, well, you don't, what did Malik say in the interview? Shakka don't speak Fuchsia Arabic. No. I don't. But you know what? I heard you. You said,
I said, that goes for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't care what you
You said Wesley speaks Arabic. You said you would like to see it. I heard what you said. You might say it for me.
I said it's a leverage he has.
He said the leverage he has.
That's like if I was to debate you and you speak Metanaxa, that's big.
All right, stop. No problem. Hold on. It's only a leverage if I can't think for myself. If I can't think for myself, it's a leverage. But because I can think for myself, I don't have to speak near a word of that language to be able to read. I can read. I can read.
Yeah, but
hold on. Stop. I can read. Most people can't read, don't understand what they read in English. But they want to tell you they think they understand what they read in Arabic. Let's go. Oh, it's not ready. Ouch. Surah is a what word? It's a Surah is a what word? It's a Jewish word. Okay. Hadith is a what word? It's a Judeo-Christian word. Okay. Isa is a what word? Remember that bishopric? Hadith. We do Hadith already?
Yeah.
Hadith, right? It's a Christian word. Isa is a Judeo-Christian word. So this is Judeo-Christian terminology. That's all I'm saying, okay? It's Judeo-Christian terminology. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, the Christian Jewish Arabs of the region use that terminology and it was developed later on into something else. All I'm saying, if you're going to tell the truth about where something came from, just tell the truth about where it came from. There's no crime in telling the truth.
What language they spoke?
You understand what I'm saying? What language?
What language were they speaking?
More or less Syriac. Aramaic. Syriac. Aramaic.
You want to show that they were speaking Syriac?
That was all. You have to go back to the first part of the lecture for that. So you have to see that, because I already showed that. Yeah, I already showed that. I showed the migration I showed the migration of the Arabs from Southern Arabia by way of Northern Arabia, coming out of the Lakhmids and others, going up through the Hijaz, going up through the Levant, and going over into Syria, Damascus, Iraq, and Iran. I showed all of that, so I'm not going to do that again. Thank you. Yeah, I showed Arabs doing that. Yeah. I showed. I know. I actually documented it. I documented and showed it. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Oh no. Go back the other direction. We're going in the wrong direction. Thank you. I hear that. Yeah, that's last week. Everybody shares, man. And you didn't even call me this week. You're supposed to call me. All right, next one. No, it's wrong direction. I think. Okay. Yeah, all right, yeah, because it went from 2 to 1. So go in the opposite direction, brother. Come on, get with me, fam. Get with me, because time is of the essence. We want to get it in. We want to get it in. Now, hard, we did Pumbedita. We know we did Pumbedita. We did Surah. We certainly did Surah. We certainly did Hadith. Right? We did Hadith Shabor. We did Naisa. We in Baghdad. Stop. We in the House of Wisdom. Go back right there. Okay? Okay, go on to the next one, please. We got these Christian scholars up in this House of Wisdom doing in the translation movement, but they want to say that the Quran didn't come from the Christians and the Jews. Besides translating this book, you said that the translation centers was translating the Quran into other languages for people to, well, you hinted at that. You hinted at, you made an allusion to that.
Relax.
Well, let's just say what it is.
It's going to be all right.
Let's say what it is.
All right.
Let's say what it is. Besides translating books into Arabic and preserving them, so in the House of Wisdom, these Arabs were translating other people's books into Arabic. They don't tell you that. Well, probably because they didn't have any books. How do you come from a civilization with no books and all of a sudden you got this one masterpiece called the Quran? You can only say God gave it to you. Because you don't want to say that you were translating other people's books into Arabic. And now you know why the best scholars tells you that the real origin for the Quran is much later than the 7th century. They prefer a 9th, 10th century origin for the Quran. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, and I'll show you that documentation as well. Let's continue, let's where we at. Besides translating books into Arabic and preserving them, scholars associate, you're looking at the House of Wisdom, by the way, that's what it is. I wanted to give you the image, you can see what it looked like. That's the real thing right there, folks. Besides translating books into Arabic and preserving them, scholars associated with the House of Wisdom also made many remarkable original contributions to diverse fields. I bet they did. During the reign of Al-Mamun, observatories were set up, and the house was an unrivaled center for the study of humanities and for science in the medieval Islam, including mathematics, astronomy, medicine, alchemy, chemistry. So wait a minute. Some goat herders and camel sheep herders in the space of 100 years went from moving goats and finding water wells to building observatories and having massive libraries. I wonder where some of them books came from. Let's see. Hold on, where we at? Because Islam is African. During the reign of Al-Mamun, observatories were set up, and the house was an unrivaled center for the study of humanity and for the science of medieval Islam, including mathematics, astronomy, medicine, alchemy, chemistry, zoology, geography, and cartography, drawing on Indian, Greek, and Persian texts. I don't know, Wesley, they in the House of Wisdom, y'all seem to be drawing on Indian, Greek, and Persian texts. I don't know. Okay. Oh, that's right. Wesley wants a pre-Islamic, a pre-Quranic Islam. Right? So Wesley's like, he's done with the Quran. And Ali Muhammad loves the Quran. So, okay. So, okay, Ali Muhammad, y'all was drawing on Indian, Greek, and Persian texts. But Islam is African. So, okay. All right. Okay. Just call me Alexander. The scholars accumulated a great collection of world knowledge and built on it through their own discoveries. By the middle of the 9th century, the House of Wisdom was the largest repository of books in the world. Yeah, but you're stealing everybody's shit. It should be the largest repository of books in the world. Let's go to the next one. The House of Wisdom 3. The libraries that belong to this original house, that belong to the House of Wisdom, the libraries included the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, our African ancestors' knowledge. Yeah. Hold on. Why y'all need our pagan books? Why y'all? I'm asking you. Why y'all need our pagan books? Come on. Why you need? Yo, Wesley, Ali. Why y'all need our pagan books in the Library of Alexandria, where our ancestors' stolen knowledge and information was put by the Greeks? Why did y'all need that to be a part of your house of wisdom? Tell me why. Because we Africans are pagans, so I want to know why you needed our books and our information and our knowledge so you could build observatories and claim all this stuff for yourselp by saying that ancient Kemet was everything other than the child of God. Although now you're trying to claim Kemet too. Okay. You wanted to play? Okay. Where we at? The libraries included the Library of Alexandria and the Imperial Library of Constantinople and other centers of translation. How many centers of translation did y'all need? How many centers of translation did y'all need? If you got one book from a cave, why you need all these translation centers? Can't come in my house and lie. And learning function at Merv, Salonika, Nashipur, and Ctesiphon, situated just south of what was later to become Baghdad. And we already know that before it became Baghdad, it was what? Jewish. Did I prove that or did I not?
You proved it, brother.
But you want us to think that the Quran said, poof, to a man's hand in a cave called Hira, a Christian name, after a Christian town. The Umayyad Caliph Muawiyah the first gathered a collection of books in Damascus, that's Christian Syria people, that were already referred by the name Bait al-Hikmah, or House of Wisdom, and contained Greek and, okay, hold on, 1 second. Contained Greek and Christian books about medicine, alchemy, and other disciplines. The Umayyads also joined many ancient intellectual centers under their rule and employed Christian and Persian scholars to both translate works into Arabic and to develop new knowledge. These are, you want to know where your Quran came from? Are you serious? Do you really want to know? I'm asking.
Where it come from, Shakka?
Well, see, Wesley's smart. I mess with Wesley because he's a PhD. He knows I ain't messing with that Quran. Wesley knows. See, Wesley is on a very special trip. Real talk. And if he succeeds to some degree, I think I can support him. Because he's like, okay, well, wait a minute. This is what's in Islam that is not African. Let's take it out. My whole thing is, what are you left with? You ain't got surah. So you got to say goodbye to all of the surahs. You got to say goodbye to all the hadiths. You got to say goodbye to Isa. When you strip it of all of this Persian, Jewish, Christian stuff, what's African left if you want me as an African to embrace Islam? That's all I'm saying. I'm not attacking Islam. I'm saying it's not African. And the reality of it is that all of those Arab Muslims are going to side with me. They're not going to side with you, Wesley, or you, Ali Muhammad. They're going to side with me. Real talk. I'm just saying. Real talk. Right? Oh man. And these were fundamental elements that contributed directly to the flourishing of scholarship in the Arab world. So apparently the Arabs were not drawing off of Allah. Apparently they were not drawing off of Muhammad. They were drawing off of, where is it? Greek and Christian, and the Greek Christian books and some other, with that Persian stuff. Contain Umayyad also employed Greek and Persian scholars to both translate the Persian scholars, the Greek scholars, and they do all the chanting Library of Alexandria. God damn. Go to this. Gee, Manetti, y'all was just stealing shit. The House of Wisdom. In the 7th and 8th century, the Abbasid dynasty replaced the Umayyad as the ruling dynasty of the Islamic Empire. In the 7th and 8th century, the Caliph al-Mansur built Baghdad and made it his capital. He built Baghdad right in the middle of all this Judaism and Christianity. Except that now texts were translated into, let me touch myself, Arabic. That was a polite move. That was a polite My brother Polite, I love you. Real talk, real talk. You are my inspiration. Real talk, bro. You inspire the hell out of me. I'm saying that on camera. Reggie too. Brother Reggie said, you inspire the hell out of me. Sarah Sue said, you inspire the living daylights out of me. Real talk. Real talk. Here we go. Imam Bashir, you inspire me. Wesley, you inspire me. Ali, you inspire me. Because you're my brother. I need you, you need me, we need each other. Real talk. Okay, here we go. Where am I? Baghdad's okay. Baghdad's okay, we'll translate it into Arabic. For this purpose, okay, let's read that again. Among those, let's read that. The Abbasid dynasty had a strong Persian bent and adopted many practices from the Sasanian Empire. Among those, that of translating foreign works, except that now texts were translated into Arabic. For this purpose, Al-Mansur founded a palace library, modeled after the Sasanian Imperial Library, and provided economic and political support to the intellectuals working there. That means that the people that were working there, the scholars there, had free rent, servants, free food. Call it a scholarship. It's like a Columbia University. Okay? He also invited delegations of scholars from India and other places to share their knowledge of mathematics and astronomy with the young Abbasid court. In other words, the Muslims didn't know shit. The Abbasids didn't know shit. So they had to import knowledge from every place else. Everything except the Quran was imported. The Quran was imported from heaven. Everything else they had to get from everybody else. And then later on, they ended up writing their mythological history. They pushed the Quran further back earlier in time so that it would have nothing to do with this. I'm saying if your main book fell out the sky, why didn't the rest of your books fall out the sky? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think Wesley would ask the same question. That's why he don't really mess with the Quran anymore. But I'm not trying to disrespect you. I have a brain. Am I allowed to use it, or do I have to be ignorant and dumb and stupid in the name of your religion? Come on. It's not fair. Let's play fair. Under the sponsorship of Caliph al-Ma'mun, 9th century, economic support of the House of Wisdom and Scholarship in general was greatly increased. Moreover, Abbasid society itself came to understand and appreciate the value of knowledge. That means before the 9th century, they ain't no shit. They ain't no shit. It's something. Alright? Okay? It says right there. Itself came to, more of an Abbasid society itself came to understand and appreciate the value of knowledge. 9th century. And support also came from merchants and the military. Right? It was easy for scholars and translators to make a living. I bet it was. Even in the midst of stealing everybody's shit, everybody getting paid. And an academic life was a symbol of status. Remember that. An academic life was a symbol of status. Remember that. Wisdom was so valuable that books and ancient texts were sometimes preferred as war booty instead of other riches. This is what's going on. They preferred the books over money. Because they were stealing everybody's knowledge. Don't tell me Islam is African. Don't put a Quran in my face and tell me that this is an African book and it came from Africans. Don't do that. Because I know it came out of the House of Wisdom with all of its Christian Jewish roots. With all of its Christian Jewish terminology, and it lined up to let you know where it came from. But I'm making it up. Okay? Here we go. Wisdom was so valuable that books and ancient texts were sometimes preferred as war booty instead of other riches. Indeed, Ptolemy's Almagest was claimed as a condition for peace after a war between the Abbasids and the Byzantine Empire. When the Arabs went to war with the Romans, they said, "You want peace with us? Let me get that book." Did I just document it? I'm asking you. I'm just asking you. I'm sure the source will come in a second. Oh, this is from Wikipedia. Go read it yourself. It has the sources on the bottom of the page. Ptolemy's Almagest was claimed as a condition for peace after a war between the Abbasids and the Byzantine Empire. That's deep. Can you imagine that? Oh, Vietnam stopped because somebody said, "Okay, if you let me get that book, we stop bombing." That's deep. Most of us don't even want to read. We want to look at music videos and play video games and go to They went to war for a book. You understand what I'm telling you? If you got books falling out the sky in a cave, why you got to go to war for everybody else's books? Go to the next one, please. The House of Wisdom, there it is. People exist there, still there today. The House of Wisdom was much more than an academic center removed from the board of society. Its experts, you see, it was removed from the board of society. What did that tell you? That means whatever was going down in secret. The average religious person in the street don't know where the book is coming from. It was removed from the board of society. Its experts served several functions in Baghdad. Scholars from the Bayt al-Hikmah usually doubled as engineers and architects in major construction projects. They kept accurate official calendars and were public servants. Damn. They went from being goat herders and sheep herders to engineers and architects and major construction projects after they annexed the Library of Alexandria to their own shit. And you want to know where the Quran and Islam came from. And it's Africa. All right, go to the next one. The House of Wisdom 4. Al-Mamun was personally involved in the daily life of the House of Wisdom. This is the Caliph, y'all. Regularly visiting its scholars and inquiring about their activities. He would also participate and arbitrate academic debates. Okay? Furthermore, he would often organize groups of sages from the Bayt al-Hikmah into major research projects to satisfy his own intellectual needs. For example, he commissioned the mapping of the world and the confirmation of data from the Almagest and the deduction of the real size of the earth. See section on main activities of the house. He also promoted what? Oh! He promoted what? He promoted what? He promoted Egyptology. Why you Kimmy people want to be into Egyptology? Why did your caliph who was supporting the House of Knowledge and the House of Wisdom into Egyptology? Why? No, Dad, you learn it. No, I know this, son. Dad, you learn it. Glad you learn it. You can put on that front for everybody else. You can't do it for me, baby.
Go ahead.
Your arms are too short to box with God. Your arms are too short to box with God. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go back. He also promoted Egyptology and participated himself in excavations of the pyramids of Giza. Why are you coming in the pyramid? Why you, whoa. Here you are, caliph over in Baghdad. You accumulating all the knowledge in the world after your first book fell completely out of the sky in a Christian cave that got transplanted somehow to the Hijaz. And now you are excavating in Kemet. You're promoting the study of Kemet. So you got this early Abbasid caliph promoting the study of Kemet and going inside the pyramids of Kemet. Why are you coming inside the pyramids of Kemet for? What you looking for? What you looking for? Alright, hold on. Following his predecessors, Al-Mamun would send expeditions of scholars from the House of Wisdom to collect texts from foreign lands. In fact, one of the directors of the house was sent to Constantinople with this purpose. During this time, Sahil ibn Harun, a Persian poet and astrologer, was the chief librarian of the Bayt al-Hikmah. Hunayn ibn Ishaq, 9th century CE, an Assyrian historian, Christian physician, and scientist, was the most productive translator, producing 116 works from the Arabs. Do y'all even understand the significance of what you are looking at? They want you to think that they thing fell out the sky. They want you to think that the Christians and the Jews, some of the people of the book, were on the outskirts somewhere. Muhammad may have heard something about their religion, and that's how the Quran may have come up. They don't want to tell you that they had an Assyrian historian, Christian physician, and scientist was the most productive translator, producing 116 works for the Arabs. You want to know where the Quran came from? For real? Real talk? He was known as the sheik of the translators, this Christian. Y'all called him the sheik of the translators because he was getting down for y'all. He was making it happen for y'all. Okay? And was placed in charge of the translation work of the caliph. This is the highest man in Islam. Who did he place in charge of his translation work? A Christian, an historian Christian. You know, the one that had on the burqa, remember his wife with all that, you know? But I'm making this up. Go to the next one. I told you early on that it was going to happen. And y'all wouldn't leave me alone. Y'all should have let me make my little dumb music videos. Run around in my nimbus, talk about Hotep. Should just let me do that. But instead, people want to yap off at the mouth. Okay? Keep yapping. Because for everything that Ali Muhammad pulls out, and for everything Wesley pulls out, I'm going to put out 8 gazillion things to make it disappear. In front of your eyes. Real talk. Until they come with my eye and truth. When you come with my eye and truth, I will support everything you do 1,000%. And let me say for the record, I'm taking next summer off to read all of Wesley's works. What is correct, I will support 100%. What is wrong, I will destroy it. Only within my personal friends. Because I'm not doing any more lectures on Islam. I do not want my people to feel like I'm attacking them. And I have too many people invested in this religion to feel like I'm attacking them. I love my people. Okay? Now, the House of Wisdom. By the second half of the 9th century, Al-Mamun's Bayt al-Hikmah was the greatest repository of books in the world. And have you damn, first the Jews got the greatest repository. I ain't had a sip of water in how long, yo? We call that tefnut. We call that tefnut in ancient Kemet. Y'all call it water. Y'all probably found that out when you went in our pyramids and was stealing our books. It's called tefnut. Okay? So Ali Muhammad want to show you all that Egyptian stuff in the Quran. Now you know how it got there. Ali Muhammad want to show you all that Egyptian stuff in the Quran. Now you know how it got there. They incorporated the Library of Alexandria, the greatest repository of books in the world. It had become one of the greatest hubs of intellectual activity in the Middle Ages, attracting the most brilliant Arab and Persian minds. The House of Wisdom, I ain't heard the word black or African yet. The House of Wisdom eventually acquired a reputation as the center of learning. The House of Wisdom included a society of scientists and academics, a translation department, and a library that preserved the knowledge acquired by the Abbasis over the centuries. Y'all think knowledge is a game? You think it's a motherfucking game. That is your problem. Real talk. Knowledge is not a game. These people who went to war and said the only way we will stop is if you give us that book, Ptolemy's Almagest, which is the incorrect name for it, because the original name is in Greek, and the Arabs changed the name of it, but you know that already. I know Imam Bashir. The House of Wisdom, as I already told you, they got everybody up in there. Furthermore, linked to it were also astronomical observatories and other major experimental endeavors. Indeed, the House of Wisdom was much more than a library, and a considerable amount of original scientific and philosophical work was produced by scholars and intellectuals related to it. Remember, most of the scholars and most of the intellectuals were what? Christians. They told you that. They're Christians. Christians and Jews. They told you that. But you're going to make me go back and show it to you again, because you don't believe your own lying eyes. Go to the next one. Sources for the House of Wisdom. Al-Khalil, Jim, 2011, The House of Wisdom, How Arabic Science Saved Ancient Knowledge and Gave Us the Renaissance. Lyons, Jonathan, The House of Wisdom, How the Arabs Transferred Western Civilization. Marie Joseph Bakadak, Medieval Islamic Civilization and Encyclopedia. Moulin Reedus, Rashidi, Encyclopedia of History of Arabic Science, Rutledge. Addison, London, Peter, The Great Medieval Thinkers. Al-Kindi, Oxford University Press. France, Rosenthal, A Classical Heritage in Islam. Because I'm making it up. I agree. There is no God greater than God. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. Now say it in the African language, can you? No, I asked you to say it in the African language. Okay, here we go. You don't know any African. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Hold on a second.
I gotta show you how to put the video up, man.
This is Khalid Muhammad. Now, hold on. This is the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Not long before he perished, or before he was taken from us. Do you see him in Muslim garb?
Nope.
What do you see him in?
Kente.
Kente cloth. Do you see him repping Mecca or Asia?
Nope. Kemet.
Kemet.
My aunt.
He's repping Africa.
He was a Muslim.
Excuse me.
Relax.
Hold on, I talked to the man. Did you talk to the man? I talked to the man. Did you talk to the man? I talked to the man. I'm asking you a question. Did you talk to the man?
No.
Okay, I talked to the man. Sit down and stand down. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Hold on, you said he was a Muslim. Let me make a liar out of a Muslim. What is that on his ring finger? What is that? Is that a moon and a crescent? That is an ankh. That is an ankh. Stand up and give me an applause. That is an ankh. That is an ankh. He's a Muslim. That is an ankh. Ali Muhammad. No, you shut up. You got no words here. You got no words here. My eye is talking. That is the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. And let me ask you a question. Here, is that a crescent? Is that a moon and a crescent?
Relax.
Is that a moon and a crescent? I'm asking you a question. Is that a moon and a crescent on his finger?
No, it's not.
All right, people. Do you see an Islamic ring on his finger? What do you see? You see an arm. Oh, so okay, now hold on. That if I'm a liar, the Khalid Muhammad's a liar.
He ain't no liar. That's an arm.
He wearing an arm. Where's your arm?
What do you mean?
Where's your arm?
I don't gotta have an arm.
You ain't got to have arm. Okay, pardon me. Go. Hold on 1 second. All right. You see that flag he's draping over his shoulder? Do it got a moon and a star on it?
Nope.
What it got on it?
Red, black, and green.
RBG, red, black, and green. Don't let these people fool you and don't let them lie to you. He was waking up. He was moving away from it because he was evolving. How do I know? I know the person who was selling him the books he was reading. He was only interested in Egypt towards the end.
That's right.
Only interested in Kemet towards the end.
Real
And
talk.
that's a fact.
That's real talk right there.
His wife, Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, was my first landlord. I talked to the man in the street, held his hand and touched his flesh. I don't gotta make up nothing. He was a good man. He was a good brother. When he first came to the United African Movement, he came in there, he walked in there, and he disrespectfully said, "That's right, we killed Malcolm. What you gonna do about it?" He said that. When he was still in the Nation of Islam. And the more time he spent around Dr. John Henry Clark, the same thing that happened to Malcolm happened to him. It was no longer about Mecca. It was no longer about Asia. It was about Africa. It was about RBG, red, black, and green, and Hotep. Read what Malcolm said about ancient Kemet. Bashir can't tell you what Malcolm said about ancient Kemet, even though he said he came to Islam through Malcolm because he saw a Spike Lee movie.
Malcolm wasn't Muslim either.
What did Malcolm say about Kemet?
Was he Muslim?
Okay, now,
He got a Muslim.
Malcolm wrote extensively about Kemet. Malcolm spoke more about ancient Kemet than he did about Mecca. My brother has an ankh on his finger. If you're not going to believe me, then believe him. As I told you, Shakka Ahmose doesn't have to say anything. I'm not sharing with you my beliefs. My beliefs are my own personal business. I never share my beliefs. I am showing you real life evidence. Let the evidence have the last word. Go to number 2. Go to presentation 2. That's the end of that. Oh, you said you just threw it out there. That's instigated. That means you don't believe what you can do with it. Let's keep it real.
But what you was gonna say, brother?
My thing is, all I did was show the documentation. What is there to refute? It's there. Either someone wrote it or they did not write it. You understand?
I think Wesley could dismiss.
One second. I didn't write any of this. Anything that I've showed in this presentation, in part 2 or part 1, I wrote none of it. What I did was I introduced you to facts and to evidence. And I made an effort to assist you in interpreting it. The reason being is that if I was to throw out half of the stuff that I spoke about this evening, half of the audience would look at me like they'd never heard it before. I can guarantee you that. because we've been socialized to have incompetent retention spans. I'm just telling you, okay? So rather than give you a show that, and I also want to say, I want to apologize to Imam Bashir. One thing, because sometimes I can behave undignified, and I don't mean to. I really don't. I don't mean anything personal by it. What you have to understand is that as scholars, when we get to prove a point, and our point is substantiated by the documentation, for us, that's a home run. For us, it's a touchdown. For us, it's a stolen base. So it's a moment, it's a small victory. And so if you see us gloat a little bit, if you see us enjoy it a little bit, if you see us sink our teeth into one another just a little bit, it's nothing, you know, it's nothing really antagonistic. It's just enjoying the moment because you got a point across. And that's how we keep score in the scholarship game. That's it. When Wesley comes and he refutes everything I say and Ali refutes everything that I say, they're gonna have their time to gloat. It's my time. So here we go. Wesley said in the end of Ghetto Scholarship, and this is a quote, he said, the best scholars when it comes to early Islam, for my brother who thinks Wesley can refute what I'm saying, he said the best scholars are the German scholars. Somebody asked him a question. I also want to apologize to you, my brother, for being so abrasive, but it was a question that touched the nerve. He said at the end of at his question and answer period during the end of Ghetto Scholarship lecture, somebody in the audience stood up and asked him, why the German scholars? Why are they the best? I'm not making this up. Go watch the video. The end of Ghetto Scholarship where he's lambasting Dr. Walter Williams. And Wesley's response is, I don't know why they're the best. I guess it's because they have a lot of time on their hands and they have the resources. That's what he said. It's not, I'm not going to put words in the mouth that the man didn't say. Okay? Now, my thing is that this is the bone that actually I have to grind with Wesley. If you say the German scholars are the best, then why don't you share with the people what the German scholars are saying about Islam and about the Quran? So since you won't do it, I'll do it. I'll share with you what the German scholars, since Wesley said that they are the best, your guru, your teacher, your master teacher Wesley said that since you feel that he's the best, that he can refute A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I'm going to follow his route. If he's the master teacher, I got to listen to what he's saying. He said the German scholars are the best, so we're going to go to the German scholars and see what they say about Islam. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Is that fair? He said it. So let's see what the German scholars are saying. With help from a few data books, this is back to the last session we were talking about the dating on the papyrus on Perth, I think 582 it is, the earliest Islamic, or rather the earliest Arabic text on papyrus. And you asked me questions, Imam Bashir, about the dating, and I told you that they did not use the Haggadah and that they were using another Arabic system of dating that had nothing to do with Islam. This particular post addressed that. The German scholars, with help from the few datable and localizable extant witnesses, namely coins and inscriptions, this is called numismatic evidence. The contributors to this volume undertake the task of explicating the contours of this development in the first 2 centuries. It will be proven that the numismatic discoveries from this period, that's receipts, coins, hard evidence, okay, ledgers, it will be proven that the numismatic evidence from this period, as well as the inscription on the Dome of the Rock, actually concerns Christian texts and symbols which document Syrian-Arabian theological ideas that God is one and single, and that the one he has sent, Jesus, is to be praised, or in the Syriac language, Muhammad or Hamid. Such statements were aimed at demarcating the text communities from the Byzantine concepts of the Trinity and Christology. They are explaining to you, the German scholars are explaining to you what the argument was in the region at this time, the 4th, 5th century on the eve of so-called Islam. They're telling you that it was a Christian argument, okay? They say that such statements were aimed at demarcating the text communities. That means drawing a line between the communities, between the Christian communities and just between the Christian communities. Put it like that. They were drawing the line between the Christian communities. That's all you need to know. At that, because that's what they're saying. Such statements were aimed at demarcating the text communities. Hear what they said? The text communities. What's the text? The Bible. The Bible. The people of the book, El Kitab. That's the text. And that these statements were being made to draw a line between these people. Okay? In the first part of the lecture, I talked about Christian schisms, wars against Christians that they know that Christians don't like to talk about. They want to give you this whole Jesus story, how kind they were, and blah, 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 bullshit. They went to war with each other, no different than the way Jews go to war with Arabs, and Arabs go to war with Jews, and Hutus went to war with Tutsis. They warred with each other, except their wars were protracted and long and lasted centuries. And their barbarism towards each other, Christian towards Christian, was crazy. I mean, they were beheading each other the same way Muslims are killing and beheading Muslims in Iraq right now, if you listen to the news. People think that these religions are monolithic and that they're all together, and the only time they all band together is when you start showing how fake their religion is. Then all of a sudden they're one. Okay? So, such statements, what are the German scholars saying? Such statements were aimed at demarcating the text communities. See the apostrophe on the end of text? That means the communities belonging to the text. From Byzantine conceptions of the Trinity and of Christology. In other words, you had a Christian demographic that did not agree with what Byzantium Rome was saying about God. So you had one group of Christians that were saying, "Now we don't agree with what Rome is saying about God." Okay? They document the proud attempt of an Arabian Christianity and the empires shaped by it to create and defend their own identity. In addition, it will become clear, I left the word clear out. In addition, it will become clear that long before the appearance of the idea of a Haggadah, Imam Bashir, wherever you may be hiding, in addition, it will become clear that long before the appearance of the idea of a Haggadah, or Haggadah, in addition, it will become, that I must have been tired when I put that together. In addition, it will become that, long before the appearance of the idea of a Haggadah, there was an Arabian Christian reckoning of time, which began with the year 622, and was only later converted to a Muslim meaning. This is what the German scholars are saying. They're saying originally, when the Arabs began to establish their own reckoning of time and their own, hold on a second. That is very distracting. Where we are again. Right. What they're saying is that, I'll read it again. In addition, it will become that long before the appearance of the idea of a Haggadah, there was an Arabian Christian reckoning of time, which began with the year 622, and was only converted to a Muslim meaning, was only later converted to a Muslim meaning. Imam Bashir needs to be in here because he was the one who pressed me at the last lecture what the issue was with the date on the papyrus and why it was not dated Hejra. And I told him that the Arabs did not use the Hejra date until much later. They didn't start 622 with a Hejra. They had a completely different dating system. It's known as the Year of the Arabs. Why? Because Muhammad's story had not been invented yet. That is a much later invention. You're talking 8th, 9th century, coming out of the House of Wisdom. Okay? Until approximately the end of the 8th century, hey, there you go, 8th century. So it seems, Arabian Christian tribal leaders governed the regions of the Near East and North Africa. Indeed, the Umayyad leaders and even the early Abbasids were what? Say it louder.
Christians.
They were Christians. Where you at, Imam Bashir? Since you want to know what the German scholar says, because Wesley, everybody's champion, said the German scholars are the best.
That's what he said.
But he never tells you what the German scholar says, because he knows you're not going to read it. Because like Dr. John Henry Clark said, you don't read enough. Imam Bashir, I'm going to read it for you again because you're back. You asked me about the papyrus and the dating, the Arab dating, and I told you they did not use a Haggadah. They had a different Arab standard for dating. The Haggadah story was not invented until the 8th century, 8th, 9th century. It's a much later story. They had not come up with the story yet. That's why that papyrus, per 558, the earliest papyrus coming out of Egypt, does not mention Haggadah. Here it is. I'll read it for you again. With the help, the German scholars now, this is what Wesley, everybody's champion, Wesley is saying what the German scholars say. Here is what they say. With the help from the few datable and localizable extant witnesses, namely coins and inscriptions, the contributors to this volume undertake the task of explicating the contours of this development in the first 2 centuries. It will be proven that the numismatic discoveries from this period, as well as the inscription on the Dome of the Rock, actually concerns Christian text and symbols which document Syrian-Arabian theological ideas that God is one and single, and that the one he has sent, Jesus, is to be praised, or Muhammad in Syriac, in the Syriac language. Such statements were aimed at demarcating the text from Byzantine conceptions of the Trinity and of Christology. They document the proud attempt of an Arabian Christianity and the empires shaped by it to create and defend their own identity. In addition, it will become clear that long before the appearance of the idea of a Haggadah, there was an Arabian Christian reckoning of time, which began with the year 622. And was only later converted to a Muslim meaning. This is what the German scholars are saying. Since Wesley said they are the best, you need to know what they are saying. And then you need to find out about the German scholar who left Islam, because he found out by studying the text that the claims are not true. But I made that up. So, here we go. Until approximately the end of the 8th century, so it seems, Arabian Christian tribal leaders governed the regions of the Near East and of North Africa. Indeed, the Umayyad leaders and even the early Abbasids were Christians. I didn't write that. It's not my words. Okay? That's from new research into its early history, hidden origins of Islam, the foreword, page 9 and 10, third and first paragraph respectively, edited by who? Karl-Heinz Oleg and Gerd R. Poen. These are German scholars at the top of their game. These are German scholars at the top of their game. These are not guys that graduated from Borough Manhattan Community College. Not that there's anything wrong with that. These aren't guys that are coming out of York College and Queens and other community colleges. These are guys who are at the top of their game. Real talk. Let's go to the next one. The German scholars too. What is the relationship though between this thesis? That the one that says a people infuse their own manufactured history into an already pre-existing religious text. You know what that pre-religious existing text was? The Bible. And the Quran, whose texts are attested with a few exceptions only in the early 8th century, and in a defective script, and whose Muslim canonization was not complete until approximately 100 years later, which means they weren't even sure of what the Quran was going to say in the 7th century. This is what the German scholars are saying. I did not say the German scholars were the best. Wesley Muhammad said the German scholars are the best when it comes to the early history of Islam. Go to the tape. He said it repeatedly in the end of Ghetto Scholarship. So this is what the German scholars are saying. Okay? The Muslim canonization was not complete until approximately 100 years later. One should always remember that the Quran appeared in a time and place, Iraq. Did I tell you it was Iraq? Huh? Did I tell you it was Iraq? But what do the Muslims tell you? They tell you the Quran appeared in the Hijaz region, in Arabia, in southern central Arabia, or rather in western Arabia, in the Hijaz region, in a cave called Al-Hida. They out here in a cave. But what are the German scholars saying where the Quran appeared? What country have I been showing you all night? Iraq. So the German scholar said what? One should always remember that the Quran appeared in a time and place, Iraq, when the entire surrounding region was still Christian and Jewish. Did I prove that tonight or did I not prove that tonight? I asked you a question. Did I prove that tonight or did I not prove that tonight? At some point in time, African people are going to have to stop being quiet and attest the truth. Either I proved it tonight through the documentation or I did not. And if I did, then you're obligated to say, yes, you did. Did I prove it? Yes. Thank you. That's from new research into its early history, hidden origin of Islam, the forward, page 11, edited by Karl-Heinz Ulrich G. R. Pullman. Go to the next one, please. The German scholars 3. The Christianized Arabian tribes put together a lectionary, or lectionaries in Syriac, naturally following the usage of the period for the validation and certification of the scriptures, Old and New Testament, which were then later transferred into the Arabic language. Did I not show you the evidence of a translation movement and process in the House of Wisdom? I cannot hear you black people. I cannot hear you Africans. I know Africans to be loud people. They always say we got big mouths. So why y'all get mealy mouthed on me now after I showed you the goddamn evidence and the documentation? Did I not show you there was a translation movement of books, foreign books being translated into Arabic? Did I or did I not show that to you? Thank you. Stop with the bullshit. We get mad when the cops do something to us. I'm giving you your brain back. Get loud. I told you they performed a frontal lobotomy on you. This is what the German scholars are saying. Do not say Shakka Ahmose said this, because I will find you and we will dance. Real talk. Real talk. Don't lie on me and don't put words in my mouth. Because I don't do that to any human being. I was raised as 3 things you don't mess with. You don't mess with a man's money, a man's reputation, or a man's family. If you mess with any of the one, you automatically mess with the other 2. You gotta dance. Now I understand potentially I gotta dance because by sharing these facts and evidence with you, you gotta remember religion is big business. It's the biggest business on the planet. So yeah, I'm messing with a man's reputation, man's family, man's money. Somebody got it, right? Here we go. You gotta have a little bit of courage in life. Here we go. The Christianized Arabian tribes put together a lectionary or lectionaries in Syriac, naturally following the usage of the period for the validation, listen, and certification of the scriptures. So that's what the Christian Arabs were doing, according to the German scholars who recently said it the best. Old and New Testaments, which were then later transferred into the Arabic language. The term later here means only in the time of the Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik, 8th century, or his successor Al-Wadi, 8th century again, early 8th century, who established Arabic as their new official state language. And I wish I had time to tell you about the man who actually really established it. He was an Iraqi general. When did those texts come together, which certainly cannot be traced back to Christian roots, or that seem to point to an Arabian prophet? So what he's saying, what the German scholar here is saying, that there are parts of the Quran that do not go back to the Christian roots, that does speak about an Arabian prophet. He's saying, where do they go back to? How far do they go back? There is a famous comment from the 9th century concerning Uthman's destruction of all Quranic manuscripts, except for the full text that he caused to be put together. Is it possible that this refers much more in reality to the elimination of the foundational Syriac text in the early 8th century? So the question that they're asking, or that they're really promoting, it's kind of a polite way of hinting at there was a foundational Syriac Quran, a Christian Quran, that predates the Abbasids writing back or back in engineering their concepts or their propaganda into what later became the Quran. This is what Wesley Muhammad stands by, which is why he promotes a pre-Quranic Islam. I have no problem with that. If he still needs to call it Islam, no problem. I have no problem with that. Really, I really don't. Okay? But just don't tell me it's African. Go to the next page, please. Join the question and answer period. Okay, so that, oh, while we're here, I'd love to go, where are my other scripts? Would you go first? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, just keep going till I tell you to stop. Okay, it's probably further up toward the front, so I'm not going to really trip on it. Okay, can I have the second presentation? It says number 2. Once I go college film because the mind is to tell what's in the waist. Real talk.
Amen. Sit down, man. Okay. Leave that man alone.
All right, are we good? Okay, here we go. Talk to me, man. Can I get what I need?
Yeah, all right.
Because I was raised in the city ever since I was a little bitty kitty drinking the girl. My mama's too. Oh, pardon me. Here we go. Hey guys, can I get some quiet so I can focus on what I'm about to share with you? All right. We need a bigger window.
Hit slideshow at the top.
Hit slideshow at the top. Yeah, go to the right, go to the right, go to the right, to the right, to the right. There, right there, right, you just pass it. In the middle, there you go. No, there you go. Yeah, just click it. No.
No,
you were up there,
man. Go back up, man.
Yeah. Okay, here we go, cool. Awesome. The Christian Judeo-Syriac language of the Quran. Can I go have the next one? This is the International Organization for Standardization. Does it say Shakka Ahmose folded? No. This is from Wikipedia. You can go online and see it. Just go to Nabatean. Okay? Type Abjad. Now, Nabatean is an Abjad. That means it's made of consonants. Nabatean language. 2nd century BC to 4th century AD. Parent systems. Proto-Sinaitic alphabet, Phoenician alphabet, Aramaic, Syriac, Nabatean. What is the child system? Arabic alphabet. That means that the Syriac is the granddaddy of the Arabic. Some Arabic scholars disagree, and that's fine. But I'm going with the International Organization for Standardization, the ISO. I got to go with the established prevailing view, right? So this article contains IPA phonetic symbols. Without proper reading support, you may see question marks, boxes, other symbols. Go to the next one. Here we go. These words. As a Muslim, when you engage the Quran, or when you are proselytizing and you are entreating someone to learn about Islam, these are the words that you're going to come in contact with. Quran, Allah, Muhammad, Surah. Well, I think you already, who can tell me where Surah came from? Raise your hand. Say it again.
Surah University.
He said Surah University. Anybody else? Oh, y'all didn't see the rest of the lecture? The town, the city Surah, the academy Surah. And what was that? Was it a Muslim city? It was Jewish. Was it a Muslim town?
No.
It was Jewish. It's just Surah. Okay? Haditha. Hadith. Remember Haditha?
Yep.
The Christian town. Oh, was it a Muslim town? I'm sorry. Was it a Muslim town?
Nope.
No. What was it? It was a
Christian
town. Plain and simple. That's what it was. Okay? We got Imam, Madrasa, Jihad, Sharia, Isa. Well, we know about the River Isa already because I showed you the River Isa. I showed you where it was, gave you the coordinates, where it's located in the town. I told you the Quran is a map, and that whoever put it together put this terminology in there so that whoever could unlock the key would know where it came from. Period. There's a whole lot of scholars out there writing a whole lot of stuff, but ain't none of them talking about Surah University. Ain't none of them talking about the Nar Isa or Haditha. There's only one. If I wouldn't have shown you this, you would have never seen this, ever. None of them. Some would like to pretend that they have, that they already knew, because that just comes along with the territory. It's the way we are with our egos. You would have never known. That's a fact. Because had you known, you'd have brought it up much earlier. Okay? Go to the next page. Comprehensive Aramaic Lexicon Project. Go to the next page. You can go online and just go to it. Let's see. Quran, Quran, Qur'an, Qur'ana. This is Aramaic, people. Calling, it means to call, to read. Okay? It means, number 2, contention. In Syriac, contention. Okay? Almost like a polemic, a disagreeable. Contention. Right? In the Syriac term. And the top one is Syriac as well. See all that Syriac up there? Reading CPA, Syriac, studying Syriac, learning Syriac, check, that's all Syriac, Syriac. C, Quran, Quran, Qur'an, Qur'ana, reader, proclaimer. Now you know what it means? The word Quran, this is when there's no Islam on the planet now. We're dealing with Syriac, Aramaic. It means, anybody know what that is? Pentateuchal reader. I got bright people in here. Who knows what the Pentateuch is? Raise your hand. Oh, I do got bright people in here. I was expecting no hands to go up. What is the Pentateuch, my brother?
The first 5 books of the Old Testament.
Okay. I'll rock with that. The first 5 books of the Old Testament. What language is it written in? Now, the title of it is a giveaway. Say it again. To the microphone.
Greek.
What's your name, brother?
Omar.
Omar, Brother Omar.
You don't remember the brother?
Brother Omar, I do remember the brother. If you want to history, that's it. As Brother Omar, who just told you, the word Quran in Syriac means Pentateuchal reader. The Pentateuch is, the Pentateuch is supposedly, the Pentateuch is, well, hold on, he said it's not the first 5 books. Imam Bashir said it's not the first 5 books. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful. I really don't. I really don't want to be disrespectful. But when you wear your ignorance like a badge of pride, somebody like myself is going to point it out. Because the term penta in Greek is 5. Okay.
Show the pictures.
Okay, now.
Show the books.
Okay. So, the term Quran in Syriac means Pentateuchal reader. One who makes a proclamation from the Pentateuch. Okay? That's from, you're going to love this book. It means from Jastrow. Wait till you find out who Jastrow was. It means one able to read in the what? Bible. Quran, Qur'ana. One able to read in the Bible. So when you come to me with a Quran and a Holy Quran, you're coming to me with a word that comes from Syriac, and you're telling me that this is your holy book, and I have no problem with that. But then somebody somewhere wants me to think that this is African. And that by me engaging, I'm engaging the religion of my ancestors that they created. Okay? Oh, can I go to the next page? Oh, here we go. This is it's a picture of a book that's about this thick. It's a very big book. And it was written in the 19th century. Okay? Right after the Civil War, by a Jewish scholar. And here you have, in his book, one able, that's the word, Qur'ana, one able to read in the Bible. Okay, this is the word Qur'ana in Hebrew. One able to read, I'm sorry, in probably Aramaic. Okay? One able to, or Syriac, one able to read in the Bible. If one, now check this out. If one betroths a woman with the condition that I am a Karanya, she is betrothed as soon as he can read 3 verses in the synagogue. That means you couldn't even get married unless you could prove that you could read out of the Quran. This has nothing to do with Islam. Islam is not around yet. Remember we were talking about all of those Jewish cities and universities in Babylonia? That's them talking. So it got nothing to do with Islam. But you coming to me and telling me it's African. When these Jews are reading out of their Quran in the Syriac language. They tell you Pentateuch reader. The Pentateuch is the first 5 books of Moses. Written in Greek, supposedly. I already reviewed what the Pentateuch actually is on Sunday TV. You have to go back and check out, I think he called it Exposing Islam. He comes up with these crazy names, but it's there. Okay, here you go. If one betroths a woman with the condition that I am a Karanya, she is betrothed as soon as he can read 3 verses in the synagogue. Not in the mosque, in the synagogue. This is the case only when he says Karanya or Karana. So all the Arabs, they dropped the A and it's kept Quran. But if he says Kara, which means one who just dictates a letter, he can't read, he can only recite. I mean, he can repeat something he heard. That's it. Right? That means he ain't getting married. That's what that means. Okay? Karanyos. Alright? Can we go to the next one? That's from this book, A Dictionary of the Targum, Talmud, Babli, Talmud, Yerushalmi, or Yerushalmi, and Midrashic Literature, published when? 1886 by Marcus Jastrow. Karanya, one able to read in the Bible. We don't have to put the ya in it because the ya is not even there. It's just Karana. Karana. Right? One able to read in the Bible. If one betroths a woman with the condition that I am a Karana, she is betrothed as soon as he can read 3 verses in the synagogue. This is and this is something down here, I don't know what that says, but this is the case only when he says Karana. But if he says Kara, you can forget about it. One who dictates a letter, being a scholar with status. Remember I showed you that? I showed you that in the Jewish Baghdad, that being a scholar meant you had status. Okay? Deacons. I'm showing you how this word fits in here. This is, I told you, the Syriac Orthodox Church has the oldest Christian surviving liturgy on the planet. I showed you that in lecture part 1, I documented that. So now we go back, and I told you that this whole Quran thing and Islam, it comes out of this whole Syrian Babylonian matrix. Christians and Jews forcing each other to convert back and forth. It was just a free-for-all. It was crazy. The different ranks of priesthood in the Syriac Orthodox Church, i.e. Patriarch, Catholicos, Metropolitan, Coepiscopos, priest, deacon, layman. In the Syriac Orthodox tradition, different ranks among the deacons are specifically assigned with particular duties. The 6 ranks of deaconate are Ulmoya, faithful, Mudwono, confessor of faith, confessor of faith, Umzarono, singer. What is number 4? Koroyo, reader. Comes out of their language. The Syriac Aramaic, it comes out of their language. Koroyo, reader. When somebody gives you a Quran, they are giving you something that has this Christian Judeo background that they do not like to talk about. Most of them don't know about it. They're brand new to the information. The few Muslims who are brand new to the information, they're going to put on a lot of airs and acts when you bring it up, and if you don't know what you're talking about, because you remember, you're never supposed to believe what you see right in front of you. You're dealing with a religious person. Remember that. Their rule number 1, never believe what you see with your own 2 eyes. Only what you are told. Always remember that. That's rule number 1. Number 4, Koroyo, reader. Syriac Orthodox Church, deacons. Go on Wikipedia and look it up. You don't have to go to highfalutin university texts to find these things. They're hiding in plain sight. Go to the next one. Eastern Syriac, Western Syriac. English, to call, to read. Okay, that's from Qur'an. Common Aramaic, Hebrew, Qur'an. See it? See the root word? Hebrew, Qur'an, to read. Now there you got Qur'an right there to read from the Hebrew. They want you to think because they threw an N on the end of the word that it's something different now because it fell out of a cave. No, real talk. Because you don't know anything about how words are put together. You don't know anything about syntax. You don't know anything about etymology. You don't know anything about nothing. So they figure you just gonna buy the story hook, line, and sinker at the end of a whip, at the end of some chains, or something. Okay? Here you go. Qur'an, Hebrew, to read. That's from the Surdis Dictionary, Association of Citophile de France. For Syriac-speaking people, Aramaic-speaking people who live in France, probably for French Jews. I finally figured out why it would be in France, right at this very moment. That's where my mind works. That's how I figure out things out on the spot. So that's what this is for. I always trying to figure, why do they have this a serial field de France? I'm like, who in France is speaking Aramaic? And I just dawned on me, French Jews. Okay, let's go to the next one. Eastern Syriac, Western Syriac, Ru, Eastern Syriac, Qur'an, Qur'aya, Kriya. English, to read, to peruse. It's right there. Kriya. Kriya. See that? Eastern phonetic. It's telling you it's Eastern Syriac. Okay? English, to read, to peruse. Eastern Syriac. Make sure that he doesn't disrespect me again.
Amen. Come on, brother.
When Wesley Muhammad gave his lecture, I sat there quietly and respectful.
That is true. That is true.
Okay? Now, here we go. Human being. You're right, I don't read Syriac. Nor Hebrew, nor Arabic. And I'm still smarter than you. Ain't that a bitch? Okay, here we go. Eastern phonetic. Qadiyana. Qadiyana. English, agent, a student, Odaham, a reader, one authorized to read the lessons of a place in worship, a caller, Eastern Syriac. So when you're dealing with Eastern Syriac, apparently you're dealing with the Eastern Church, and the Nestorians. Remember I showed you the woman dressed in the burqa, in the purdah? The Nestorian Christian Church? It's their language. It's Christian language. Okay? But according to, I'm making it up. Let's go to the next one. You see the difference between me and the ones who want to think for you and tell you what to think instead of just showing you the evidence? The difference between myself and them is that, number one, I respect you enough to show you the evidence and let you make up your own mind and think for yourself. I'm just showing you the evidence. That's it. I'm just showing you the evidence. I told you they can't handle the truth. And that's why he's walking out. They can't handle the truth. And they cannot handle the truth. They cannot handle the truth. The lie will never remain in the presence of the truth. Ever. Ever. Not in a million years. Did I make anything up that I'm showing you? I'm asking you.
No. Tell him.
I'm not making anything up. If I made something up, I would expect somebody to say, yo, Shakka, you wrong, you out of pocket because you're making something up. Right? Here you go.
Yo, boss, right. Come
here
on,
you go.
Man.
So anyway.
You're going to go to your cook bar and do the same thing.
So here we go. Now we're going to the Aramaic lexicon and concordance. Because according to the guy who discovered Malcolm X through a Spike Lee movie, Imam Bashir, I'm making it up. Okay? I spoke with the Honorable Betty Shabazz. I was in the same room with that woman. I know what it was like to sit in her presence. I'm talking about the wife of Malcolm X. I didn't discover Malcolm X through a Spike Lee movie Hollywood made by Jews. Imam Bashir blew his own mouth, discovered Malcolm X through a Spike Lee movie made by Jews, and then defected to Ahmadiyya Islam, a version of Islam created by Indian. And you bring in a Jewish Hollywood movie and Indian religion to black people because you want to help us. No, real talk. And I'm supposed to sit there can't just take it with a serious face and take you serious as if you even belong in the same room with me. On real talk. Now I have no problem when Wesley comes and breaks me a new butthole in this joint. I know Wesley gonna tear me a new one on it. I know. But I'm willing to at least bring you the information so that you can have this until that happens. Because until he does it, and until, you know, Ali Muhammad, forget about it. I love Ali Muhammad. I can't front. I really do. That brother he's a special brother. Brilliant. I think Polite is more brilliant, but he's brilliant. That's my personal opinion. I'm entitled to it. Go to the next one. Polite is second. Look, let me say this for the record. Brother Polite is second to none. To none. He's not even second to me. He's second to none. Real talk. I'll put that out there. Aramaic lexicon concordance. Pronunciation, God. Western, Allah. The Eastern pronunciation. Remember I showed you a woman dressed like a burqa, dressed in Islamic wear from the 4th century, Nestorian Christianity. How did they say the word God? There it is. Eastern Syriac, Eastern Aramaic, Allah. See it? Allah. That was the Christian word for God in the 4th century. So you can't tell me, don't tell me that when I come to Islam, that I'm coming to my African religion. I'm not saying you can tell me that. I mean, it's possible you might be able to prove it. But where it stands now, and as it stands now, that's not Kemet. That's not ancient Kemet. That's not Nubia. That's not Puanit. You understand what I'm saying? That's not even Aksum. It's not. Well, actually it could be Aksum, but it's not even Aksum. Let's go to the next one. The Surah's Dictionary again, here we are. So you know, we are at, type in, boys and girls, type in Surah's Dictionary. Go to where it says English. Type in any word you want to find out in Syriac and see if you can find a similar one that gave birth to the Arabic word, because it's all there. Okay, let's go to the next one. God, Syriac, Eastern phonetic, Allah, It's Syriac. That's from the Surah's Dictionary. Allah. So you want to know why Arabs and Christians, or why Muslims and Christians are killing each other? Because see, the average person would say, why are Arabs and Christians killing each other? No. With all this Arab Christianity going on, how are you going to say how are Arabs and Christians killing each other when most of the damn Christians were the Arabs in the first place? Oh, you didn't know? They also forgot to tell you that most of the Jews eventually were the Arabs too. Because many of those Arabs that became Christians were also forced to convert to Judaism at times, depending on where you were living. When you move someplace and the religion is dominant, that's not yours, you feel pressure. Especially in them days when you live in a temple-based economy. So on Tuesday, you Christian. On Thursday, when you want that job working for the tanner, or for whoever else, or for the scribe, you're going to be you. My name is, I don't know, Shlomo now, whatever Jewish name, I don't know. Okay? I don't know. English, God, the word Allah, in Eastern phonetic Syriac. You notice how they always go to the Eastern phonetic because it's coming out of that Syriac Nestorian church under the Persian Empire, under the Sassanid Empire. That's why those nuns wore the burqa, wore the purdah, and had their face covered. Because it's Persian culture. I don't want your Persian culture. I want my African culture. I want my African words like hotel. I want my African words like ma'at. I want my African words. I want to hear applause when I say that. I want my African words. I want my African words like ah. I want my African words like kemet, like tawi. You understand what I'm saying? I want my African words. Like nisut, nisutet, nun, nunet, aket, amun, amunet, atumre, sin, sinet. I want my African words. Billie Holiday was high on drugs and still had enough sense to say, God bless the child that has his or her Own. Say it again. Own. I just want my own. That's it. I'm not saying you can't practice Islam if that's what you want to do. But me personally, as an African, I want my own. That's all. Before we became contaminated with other ideologies, with other people, be they from wherever, I want my own. African. That's what I want. I don't want the Eastern phonetic Nestorian Christian I just don't want that. I just don't. My thing is that, look, if you say God is one and there's only one God, why do I gotta call him by the name you choose? If you want to call him Allah, that's fine. Why I can't call him Atumre? That's right. Why I can't call him Ma'at? Why I gotta call him what you want me to call him? Because that's thought control. You want to control what I think and what I say and what I do. You want me to be your slave, your abed. That's what you call us. Isn't that what the Muslims, the Arab Muslims in the Middle East call us? Abed, servant, slave, servant, slave. Isn't that what the Islamicized Africans call the non-Islamic Africans? Abed, servant, slave. Because they were also contaminated by a foreigner's religion. That Ali Muhammad was to convince you came out of Egypt. Yeah, we know how it came out of Egypt. Because they annexed the Library of Alexandria. And because they had a translation movement going on and they was digging all up in our pyramids, did I document it or did I document it? I'm not making it up. Imam Bashir walked out of here because the truth hurts. If it didn't hurt, he would have sat right there with a smile on his face like he did last week. And if I was so wrong, when I asked him personally, what grade did you give me last week? And Imam Bashir out of his own mouth said, I give you an A. Nothing you have said can be refuted. I'm not going to put words in a man's mouth that he never said. That would be unfair. I'm a fair person. I don't put words in people's mouth they didn't say. That is unfair. I don't want anybody doing it to me. I did not come out to attack Islam. Have I said Islam is a bad religion?
No.
Have I said, I don't even think I said Islam is a false religion. I just said it's not African. From my perspective and from what the evidence has shown me, all I'm saying is Christian Arabs who may be black. I'm not saying that these Arabs aren't black people. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that they're just black people who got duped before we got duped. So I'm supposed to follow behind duped Africans that got duped? If they got miseducated, I'm supposed to walk behind them because it's the 3rd century and the 4th century when it's happening? Dude, my shit go back 10,000 years. Real talk. It goes literally to the sky and the stars and the moon. Real talk. Back up into my mother's womb. Real talk. And you want me to say that my salvation religiously lies in something that came out of the Eastern Nestorian church, out of the whole Jewish matrix Babylonian system, with all these words like Quran and Hadith and Surah and Isa and all of this stuff comes from? And I'm supposed to think this is African? And I don't say it with hatred or maliciousness, or I try not to say it with disrespect. I really do, because it's important that I respect all Muslims who may be present here, including Imam Bashir. Imam Bashir just get on my nerves. That's all, because it's like, dude, have some integrity. Real talk. Don't be, I hate people who are wrong and strong. Don't be wrong and strong. If you're wrong, I caught that. One to go on. One to go on. Imam Bashir said I lied. You can show me where I lied, show me. Go to the next one. Uh-oh. Eastern Syriac, Western Syriac. Eastern Syriac. What'd that say up there? Eastern Syriac. Does anybody pronounce that? Huh? Muhammad. Did I say something disrespectful? I didn't mean to. I was literally studying. Here you go. Muhammad. What does it mean in Eastern Syriac? It pertains to moral life and conscience within the language. It means believed, trusted, trustworthy, honest, reliable, dependable, sure, with faith or with, faithful to, now, a believer. What is also? A what? Muhammad. What does Muhammad sound like? Say it loud. So that the people on camera can hear you. Muhammad sounds like what? Muhammad. What language is this? Syriac. Eastern phonetic. Syriac. Muhammad. That was a term for a Christian. Muhammad was a term for a Christian. But I made it up. Go to the next one. Yeah, he's lucky he left before that one came out. Here we go. Hey, what did that say?
Hamid.
Hamid. What does Hamid sound like? Say. Hello?
Muhammad.
Hey, Sonette, am I here by myself? What does it sound like?
Muhammad.
Hamid. The word means praise. In the Eastern phonetic, it means Hamid. Do you know what Ali Muhammad is telling people on Facebook? He is telling people that that word Hamid is an abjad, a triconsonantal word that actually means Kemet. This is what he's telling people. Now, I heard him being desperate before. I know you want to attach Islam to ancient Egypt so bad. But them Arabs ain't gonna let you do it. Because they want to destroy the pyramids. They've already said that in the press. They want to tear them down. So you think that them Arabs are gonna let you take Hamid and say that it means Kemet? Well, we do know that y'all was up in that the early caliphs was up in Kemet, digging around the pyramids and stealing our knowledge and our literature. It's like the Greeks. So I get that. I totally get it. And when the Moors want to tell you, yes, I'm going there. When the Moors want to tell you they were the custodians of Kemetic knowledge, now you know how they became the custodians of Kemetic knowledge. Because the Islamic world had already appropriated the Kemetic knowledge. It took it from the Greeks and the Romans. Particularly the Romans, Byzantium, the Eastern Roman Empire, because you all know about the Eastern Roman Empire. You can tell me everything about it. Right? Go to the, Syriac, Hamid, English to praise. Dialect. This comes from the Al-Kosh dialect. Okay? Now they tell you the word is of Arabic origin. That's okay, because we already know, like I showed earlier, the early Arabs were Christians. You see, somebody would say, oh no, but it's an Arab origin. Yeah, and they were the early Christians and Jews. The Yemeni Arabs, the Yemeni Jews. In Yemen. Yes. I wish you could read that paper. There's a very important paper that I referenced in my last lecture that you need to read about the evolution of the Arabic language. Because the author talks about how important Yemen was to the ancient Arab, particularly the ancient Arab in Central Arabia and the main Arab, or as I think Wesley would call them Al-Arabiya, the real Arabs. To them, Arabia was it. Yemen was it. Yemen was the reference for everything. Yemen was their womb, so to speak. The problem is that Judaism and Christianity are already in Yemen during the 3rd, 4th century before Islam comes into existence. So those Arabs coming out of there are already Christians and Jews. So the fact that it has an Arabic origin don't mean nothing. So you got to know how to navigate this information. You have to be able to look at something and call it for what it is. You have to know the history it's attached to. All right. Muhammad is the primary transliteration of the Arabic given name from the triconsonantal root HMD, praise. What did it say up there in Syriac? Praise, Hamid. There it is. It just gave you the vowels. There it is at the triconsonantal root that Ali Muhammad said means Kemet. No, it means praise. Why? Because that's what they call Jesus, the praise one. They called him Muhammad. That's what the book, that's what the German scholars are saying. I didn't say that. I said the German scholars are saying it. Okay, go to the next one. Al-Kosh. Now go back a second. It says the dialect is Al-Kosh. Now remember I told you, every time you go back into these languages, you keep finding these damn Christians and Jews everywhere. At the origin of all of this. That's what I'm saying. No, you can't come to me with Islam and tell me that it's African, because I keep finding Christians and Jews. Let me just take a quick break real fast, so you can understand what the real beef is. No, keep filming. The real beef is this. What you don't understand, Islam, or the origins of it, came about as a beef between Christians and Christians only. The Christians who sided with Rome, or Eastern Rome, they became known as Christians. Because I told you, prior to the 4th century, they were not called Christians. Before this ecumenical council of Ephesus and Chalcedon, they were not called Christians. They were called by the name of the leader that they followed, or the person's whose philosophy they subscribed to. You were an Arianist, you were an Ebionite, you had all these different words. Nobody was using the term Christian. Did not exist. So you had these people, you had these followers of this messianic religion, right, if you want to call it that, which is another poor term. I won't go into it because Polite is going to go into that and I'll come and let you. They're beefing with each other. They're like, you know, hey look, bottom line was there was a break. They said, we ain't accepting that whole Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That 3 in 1. No. God is one. Period. But period. That was their beef. The group that sided with Rome, which is the Syriac Orthodox Church, and also the church in Egypt, or what's called the School of Alexandria, because they had different schools. You had the School of Edessa in Syria, which is the seat of Christianity at particular times. You had the School of Alexandria. The difference between the schools is one was literalist. The one in Egypt was, the one in Odessa in Syria was literalist. That means that they believed the words of the Bible, word for word, take everything literal. The school in Alexandria, under Origen, one of the early church fathers, they were figuratists. They only believed in you believe in it figuratively, as allegories. And so there were disagreements. Study, okay, for those of you watching, go to Wikipedia and type in the Desert Fathers. Desert, as in, you know, the Sahara, D-E-S-E-R-T, for those of you who will probably end up spelling dessert. Desert, the Desert Fathers. You have to know about these guys because the first one was St. Anthony. He came out of Egypt, moved into the desert, lived what's called an aesthetic life. They developed what's called aestheticism, a hard way of Christian life, a monk-type life. This got transported to Syria. And it's out of this desert, these desert fathers who start the ascetics, and then you have to follow the ascetic movement as it evolves in Syria, the seat of early Christianity, 2nd, 3rd, 4th century. Remember, it's not even called Christianity. See, what happens is that these words come along, right? And then, after they become established, we superimpose it on the earlier things that took place. And so then they have you thinking, oh, Christianity goes back. No. To get Christianity, you have to get them to cease using the word Messiah, which was supposedly the Hebrew term, and at a particular fixated point in time, at a particular ecumenical council, it became Christos. Okay? And that's not until about the 4th, 5th century, which means nobody would have been using the term Christ. Because it only means, according to what they want you to believe, that it means Messiah. That's what they want you to believe. Most of you probably believe that. So go to the next one, please. I have no idea what's coming next. Oh, Al-Kosh. Oh, go back real fast. Dialect Al-Kosh. Hamid. Dialect Al-Kosh. Well, let's see if Christians are behind this Hamid. Okay? Al-Kosh was a site of worship for the Hebrew peoples. Okay, I made it. when they were brought by the Assyrian army during the 8th and 9th century BC. However, with the spread of what? No, it says Islam. Y'all can't read. With the spread of what? See, now Imam Bashir would tell you that it says Islam. With the spread of Christianity, Al-Qush was among the first. Oh, quiet is kept. I'm going to tell you something about that Al-Qush. That Al-Qush actually comes from Kush, believe it or not. You got to really know that whole Mesopotamia region is really deep because they inherited a lot from Africa. Okay? Only problem is you got white folks trying to make them seem like they're the origin over there. All right? They got it all mixed up. Al-Qush was among the first Assyrian cities to accept the new faith as their own. Okay, now wait a minute. This term Hamid, we all know Hamid. This term Hamid came from a city, a city that was a site of worship for Hebrew people, that was the first Assyrian city to accept the new faith, Christianity, as their own. According to the memoirs of Marmika of Nohadra, Daoud, when he visited the town in 441 AD, Islam does not come into when? Somebody help me out.
9th century.
All right, okay, 9th century. Somebody learning. Cool. Okay, Islam doesn't come until about the 8th century, 7th, 8th century, right? We're not giving the 7th, about 8th century. Okay? But they want to say 7th. All right, whatever. I'm generous, I can give them 7th. Okay? But this is the 5th century. Okay? He visited this particular person, visited the town in 441 AD. He was welcomed by priests of a church built on the ruins of the temple of Al-Qush's ancient god Sin. Babylonian god, right? Al-Qush became an important town for what? Eastern Christianity. Why did I not highlight? I must have been asleep. That's why I didn't highlight it. I was sleepy as hell. But consider that highlighted. Eastern Christianity, after the coming of the Nestorian monk hermits, who carved out a monastery. Now you know where the term hermit comes from. The Nestorian monk hermits, who I just now find out just now. I just now realized that while talking to you, right? That's how language works. It jumped right out at you. Okay, hermits who carved out a monastery out of the mountains of Al-Qush. This abbey is called Rabban Hormizd Monastery, which was crafted in 640 AD at the outskirts of the mountains of Al-Qush. That's right around the time Islam is supposed to be coming on the scene, supposedly. So Al-Qush is a Christian city that has a site where the Hebrews worship, and it's out of their particular dialect of Syriac that you get the word Hamid. That was brought there by Arabs. It's always these particular Arabs who are accepting Christianity very early who lend themselves to this terminology that we find later on in the Quran. So all I'm saying is I have no problem with that. That's okay. It doesn't make Islam illegitimate. It just means that for me as an African seeking to embrace my African lineage, that's not going to qualify. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Even if the people doing this were black, it still is not going to qualify. Okay? Can we go to the next one? Oh, go back real fast. Let's go see where Al-Qush was. How come they oh, it's up there in the Haditha. Helping you think, black people. Let's go to the next one. Al-Qush. It was used as a seat for many patriarchs of the Assyrian Church of the East. From this monastery came Yohanan Sulaka, who decided to unite with the Catholic Church of 1553, 16th century, and established the Chaldean Church. Before that, all of the inhabitants of Al-Qush, like their brothers in other Assyrian, also known as East Syrian towns, followed what? The Nestorian faith, and were of the Assyrian Church of the East. That's from the World Heritage Encyclopedia. People, you are looking at the Christian demographics as it pertains to the origin of Islamic terminology. That's all. That's all I'm sharing with you. Now mind you, so now that takes you back to the southern black people in Arabia. Okay? And so I don't have any problem with that. It's just that those Christians, Arabs that left there, you gotta understand this is a Christian pilgrimage all the way from the south of Arabia, all the way over to Syria. So you can't come and tell me you're bringing me something new just because you flip a little something, something, and add a little something to the story. It just doesn't work like that with me. Okay? And I wish I had that historian nun up here again, because I would show you her again what she looked like so you can see how they're trying to pass all of this off, all of this Christian stuff as Islam. The film finished?
No, it's on.
Okay.
Time winding down.
Oh, okay, cool. Surah. The word surah, we saw where that came from. Western Syriac, the Eastern Syriac pronunciation, surah or surya. Okay? Surya. Surah. It means the beginning, the start, an initial point of time, space. Okay? It means the origin. It also means state. Well, we know of a state that was called Surah City. Surah University, which is the origin of this word. The word surah basically means Syrian. That's all it means. Like the Assyrians. And when you hear the term surah, it just harkens back to those people, the Assyrians in Mesopotamia. But when you see that, it means the beginning and the start, an initial point of time and space. So somebody who understands where Surah came from and what it was referencing as far as Surah City and Surah University, I now know anytime I see the word Surah, if somebody opens up the Quran and they show me the word Surah, I automatically know that word wants me to think of Surah University, Surah City, where this came from, its beginning, its origin. You see, in Islam, in Islamic, they took it and they kind of dwindled down the meaning. Instead of looking at it for what it actually means. You have to go back, you always have to go back to Surah City, you always have to go back to Surah, the Jewish city of Surah and the Jewish University of Surah. Always. Okay? The dialect is classical Syriac. Okay? This word might be related to the biblical name of Ashur, the forefather founder of the Assyrian tribes. Can we go to the next one? If there's anything more, I don't know what's coming up. Surah City? Oh, just to remind you. That's why I put that there. Go back real fast. Surah, in the beginning, the start, an initial point of time, space, right? The origin. So what's the origin? Go to that next page again. That's the origin to remind you. Surah City, the Jewish city of Surah, and the whole academic Torah scholarship thing. Go to the next one. Surah Academy, just to remind you, go to the next one. And that's it.
Give it up. Woo! Powerful, powerful.
Do anybody have any questions for the brother? I know y'all took some questions down. Anybody have any questions? Step up, please. Brother Malik, you drop something too. Drop some paper.
I'm disappointed in
Brother Malik, let's go. Peace.
You really mean peace?
I really appreciated the 3 lectures you gave, and this one, I think you did an astounding job. I really do. My question to you is the basis for these individuals to make what we have today as Islam. What was the purpose? Was it for political gain? Was it for land? I mean, in essence, it was an early form of capitalism.
You said it was an early form of capitalism?
Capitalism.
Oh, capitalism.
In the sense of divide and conquer. But I mean, was that the base? Was it just a group of individuals who say that was jealous? That they weren't at a plateau or a place they were? Because you made good examples of showing how somebody came from a desert that herded sheep. So now you have prestigious universities.
Observatories.
You know, so would you say that was out of envy, out of jealousy, that was the reasons for why they did what they did?
I would say that, and again, if you're a Muslim and if you feel that I have offended you, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I will not apologize for telling the truth as I see it, as I know it. If I'm in error and if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. So he asked me, what do I feel was the modus operandi? I think he asked me that question a few times before, and I thought I answered it. Maybe a little differently, but it did sound very familiar. He asked me, what do I feel was the modus operandi of them creating Islam? Because he said, was it jealousy, was it envy that those who had established religion were on top? Prior to them doing this, when they had their own religion, would that have been the impetus for them to do it? From what the evidence says, as well as I can read it at least, you have to ask that question at two different stages. If you ask what it was in the beginning it was an Arabian Christian movement to tell Byzantium Rome to screw off, to go to hell. We do not agree with that. We do not agree with what you and your bishops came up with at the Ecumenical Council of Ephesus and at the Ecumenical Council of Nicaea, probably Nicaea too. They probably tolerated Nicaea, but by the time it got to Ephesus and Chalcedon, these Arab Christians were like, look, you guys are literally changing the face of the religion. Why? Because in these ecumenical councils, they were using what's called ecclesiastic formulas to apotheosize. That means to make into a god. They were using ecclesiastic formulas they had learned in the Egyptian text, how to create a god that would symbolize this, or how to create a deity that would symbolize this and symbolize that, would symbolize resurrection, would symbolize aforetime or eternity, right? So the people in Byzantium, the hegemony, meaning the ruling class, they had access to these texts. So if they're having these discussions, what we call Christological or philosophical discussions, because you gotta remember, at the day the whole war is over a philosophy. Think about it. These people are killing each other. That's what happens when you let babies play with matches. Real talk. When you look at how young this particular branch of humanity is in comparison to our race, when they finally got a hold of philosophy, they wanted to kill each other over it. I say God is one. Well, I say God is three. Rather than go to a bar and get drunk and talk about it and see who's right, you want to blow each other up. What kind of shit is that? That's crazy. No, this is what's really going on, bro. And I'm going to answer your question. This is what's really going on. These arguments came out of Christological arguments that were taking place at ecumenical councils. The Byzantine church decided that God was going to be three. They had the Homoousian Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Ephesus ratification, and then the Chalcedonian. And they had all these other philosophies being kicked out. They told Arius to go to hell, and they killed him. They told Nestorius to get the hell out of here. He went over to the east, and all of those Christians, it broke the Christian church. The Syriac Orthodox Church under the Byzantine Roman Empire. It broke it. And all those Arab Christians went over to, they went over to Assyria. Okay? And they said, we ain't down with that. They said, we ain't down with, they said, we're not down with what the Byzantine church is doing. We believe what Nestorius believes. Well, what did Nestorius believe? His belief was just a modification of what Arius believed. I mean, if you see how small the differences are in these arguments, and they were killing each other, literally killing each other about what the official line about God was going to be. Why? Because these people didn't know jack shit about what they were talking about. They were being introduced to something they had no hand in creating.
Nobody questions?
You understand? Now, why did they create Islam? In the beginning, it was Christians telling the Romans, Byzantians, go to hell. That's why Abd al-Malik made the exorcist at the Dome of the Rock. It's a Christian statement. It said it in the documentation. It's a Christian statement. What is he saying? He says to the people of the book. He's not talking to anybody else. He's talking to only those who believe in the Bible. And then he makes his statement about what God is. It's a whole bunch of inscriptions that he makes on that. Get the translations, they're there. It's a Christian argument. So why did they, now that's the first part. But that was not Islam. That was Christianity. I see you, brother. That was not Islam. That was Christianity. Christian arguing. It didn't become Islam until much later when the Abbasids and the Persians get a hold of it. And they get all this knowledge from around the world. And they take basically what they did was they took the world's knowledge hostage. That's what they did. They took some people, we're the custodians. You weren't the custodian of shit. You stole African knowledge and you kept it hostage. And then mutated it, warped it, got it all messed up, and now you killing each other in the Middle East about some shit you don't even understand. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But if you don't have wars, you can't sell bullets and rockets. If you can't sell bullets and rockets, little Susie can't get her Maserati while she's going to the Kanye West concert. So that's why they created it. My brother.
Pass him the mic.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So, what is the purpose of the Jews and the Christians creating Islam? To divide and conquer black people, or just to? I'm still like kind of confused because I'm just like learning all this information. So I just want to know: is the cause of
Give it up to E, man. He came back, y'all. Come on, man. Sorry, brother.
So what you're saying originated, that's where it comes from?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say, okay, now thank you for asking that because sometimes your questions will help me think a little better. I wouldn't say, initially I said Jews created Islam. What I was really saying was that Walter Williams made that statement and made that claim. And it spurred me on to my research. And what I discovered was that I wouldn't say that they created it. I would say that they certainly had a hand in it. And I would say, yeah, you remember that book, The Hidden Hand? I don't know how many of you know about that, but you need to own that book. We know they had a hand in it because all of the terminology in the book references only their geography. See, they think black people are stupid and don't know geography. So if you're telling me all of the chapters in your book are called Sirah, and then I find this Jewish city called Sirah, and it exists before Islam, I know one comes before too, and then all of a sudden I see this big Jewish university there called Surah, and there's a whole bunch of Arabs around it who are Christians and some Jews, and they're converting back and forth. Then all I gotta do is, my brain computer says, okay, Walter Williams must not be a stupid man, because I'm finding all of their terminology seated and rooted in all of this Judaism, this Babylonian Judaism. I mean, I can't make this up. I'm quasi-smart, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I can't make this up. Either it's there or it's not. Either the coordinates are there or it's not. Hey, brother, could you, do you think you could bring up presentation 1 again? Not this one, but the original one. If you can remember how to retrace your steps, you got a good brain, I'm sure you can.
Hey, Shaka,
yes.
Which one of the videos you said Dr. Wesley Muhammad made that statement? Is it in Ghetto Scholarship 1 or Ghetto Scholarship 2? Yes, about the German scholars.
It was towards the end.
No, I'm saying because there's 2 of them.
I only know one of them.
No, it's 2 of them. It's part 1 and it's part 2.
Okay, is it the same lecture at the same place?
No.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. I think it might be, it's
it was one that was here.
Oh, no, it wasn't here.
Okay, so I know which one you're talking about.
Nah, it wasn't here. It was in Chicago.
It's the one when Ali Muhammad brought him here.
Okay, no, the one I'm talking about, he did, I think, in Chicago.
Okay, so I know which one to go check out.
Yeah, he's got his, well, he always with the suit, but he had the suit on.
It's called the End of Ghetto Scholarship.
I'm sorry? Yeah, it's called the End of Ghetto Scholarship.
Right, he did too.
And he says in there, he says, the German scholars are the best scholars when it comes to early Islam. And he said you have to read them. And then he said, somebody asked him a question, why are they the best? And he said, I don't know, because they have time on their hands and they have the resources. So all I'm saying is that, okay, Wesley, Dr. Muhammad, if you're saying that the German scholars are the best, then why didn't you read what I read to the people? Because that's what the German scholars are saying. Olin and Pure are the German scholars. And they're at the top of their field. These are not, fly-by-night scholars. These ain't street scholars. These are like the real guys, the PhDs. In fact, Purin was the one who headed the team that he was the one who discovered the Sunnah text. And if anybody follows the history of early Islam, you have to know about the Sunnah text in Yemen. Because these are the texts that they found. All these, it's like, you can't send a fool to do an intelligent job. Somebody was supposed to throw away the evidence, and they left it in these cans, these jars and vases. They thought they were throwing them away, and they got unearthed. And when they pulled the Sunnah text out, they found all of these early Quranic manuscripts from the 7th century. The only problem is that they found, what's the word for it? There's a technical term for when you're looking at the page and you can see something is written underneath it. And the term escapes me right now. But when they saw it, they deciphered it. And what it turns out is that there's an earlier script there with varying readings, different readings from what the standard Quran says. And not only that, but it was also missing the diacritical points, which is really interesting because we know that Arabs were using diacritic points, the vowel markings. They were using them early on because they're found in that Egyptian, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Could you go forward, please, in this? Because I can really answer the questions better. Go forward, 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 forward. We're going to go to per 58. Forward, 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 forward. Oh, stop for a second. Hey, go back. So I want you to remember this, because some of you didn't see this. That is, remember they kept showing you, when I was showing you the Christian words for all of those, the Arabic terminology? Allah, Hamid, Muhammad, so forth and so on. So they said it comes out of the Eastern Christian Church, Eastern Christianity, Eastern Aramaic, Eastern Syriac. That's what the Eastern Syriac Christians looked like in the 4th century, wearing purdah and a burqa. This is what I'm telling you. I mean, I can talk to my voice is gone. It's not going to change the facts. Go further, 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 further. Further, further, further. Just keep going. Slowly, 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 slowly. Keep going. Keep going. Oh. Go back, go back, go back. Go back. I was saving this to really, yeah, okay, right there, leave it there. You have questions, my brother?
Give him the mic.
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. First, I'm going to say, December 7th of last year, I believe, you and I were supposed to have our debate, but you reneged on that. You came at you came when we didn't have no more time left. You know that's a fact. I was there waiting for you for 2 hours so we can have our debate. I'm saying this to say this.
Did I renege?
Hold on, I'm saying this to say this.
Just let him finish, brother.
I'm saying this to say this.
Okay.
You don't have to call out Wesley. I'm the one that's prepared to bury all this garbage that you're talking.
Okay.
I don't care who in here or the community, but Allah be my witness, You stepped to the stage like you were supposed to, and we actually can do it. I'm gonna have the Muslims from New York, Jersey, and Philly in here, and we're gonna have your janazah. That's just what it is. Now, I got a question.
I thought you were gonna burn me right now.
Because my question's gonna burn.
Oh, okay.
My question's gonna burn you, but don't act like I have all the time to really properly, dissect you. All right?
I'm wrong.
Look, first thing is, you admitted to you not knowing the language. Syriac, Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, you know none of it, for one. For two,
hold up.
I got a couple of questions.
Do you know all of it? You know Arabic?
I know Arabic.
Read it right Arabic?
I know, yes, I read it right Arabic.
Okay. Could you do me a favor? All right, no, we're doing some proof here. Do me a favor. Bro, I need you to go find some Arabic on the scripture. Go back. No, go back. No, right? That's my Arabic right here. Read some of that.
First of all, this is what you're trying to do. Don't laugh too much because y'all don't know what you're talking about. So pay attention because y'all don't know.
Okay.
The 85% is in here, so get educated.
Okay.
The first thing is, what this is over here, on the top, we have what we know as Arabic Fusha.
Right.
So if you look all the way up to the top, that's a Nabeti.
Right.
bottom, these are Nabatean, Syriac, and different expressions of different languages. So the top languages, I got you all day on that. The Syriac and all of this evolution of the language, I don't know the evolution of this language and all the vowels, so on and so forth. That's not what I know. But what I do know is that Arabic up there and the Arabic in the Quran. And the Arabic of the Quran.
You also the ones that far left in the back.
What far left? To the right? Yes, we know to the right. Aleph, Dal, Lam, Ta, Twa, Sin, Wow. Matter of fact, when you read that, so I can point it out on camera, and people that do know Arabic will understand what the hell I'm saying. Right. So here we have an Aleph, we have a Dal, we have a Lam, we have a Wow, we have a Meen, we have a Ta, we have another Meen here, we have a Ya,
folks, he's reading.
and we have a Sin.
Give it up.
We have a Sin.
Give it up.
Correct.
All right, what's your question, brother?
Now, since we into the language, I got a couple, so I will give you back.
Okay.
Now, you were speaking about the house of wisdom.
Yes.
And your interpretation of what they was doing was being the catalyst of creating the Holy Quran. Is that correct?
Sure. I'm comfortable.
All right, sure. So that was when? Early 9th century. This is correct?
No, not this early 9th century.
18, it was 800 and I believe 818. That would be, that would be,
I have to go, hey, could you,
that would be early 9th century. I thought you perfected this, the knowledge. You're supposed to know the information. Okay.
That's all you have to ask for the facts right there.
All right, that's fine, please.
What you looking up?
No, keep going. How's the wisdom? You want to assert
By Shia.
Keep going.
In fact, the House of Wisdom, I got it
Okay, stop going.
813 to 833.
Here we go, 9th century.
Early 9th century, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now, so you're saying that that is the catalyst of the Quran?
Sure.
All right.
At least the later one.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is it the catalyst or is it
No,
not?
it's a catalyst for the Muslim Quran, yes. Not for the early Syriac one, no. I wouldn't.
It's the catalyst for the Quran that we say Muhammad brought.
Or for the one that became the center of Islam, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if we going from these dates here,
Yeah.
let me ask you, where was the first Quran of Muhammad found? The first one?
Where was the first Quran of Muhammad found?
The first Quran of Muhammad,
Right.
where was it found?
Well, I never knew of Muhammad to have a Quran because.
Okay, the Quran that the Muslims use and
Right.
claim is from the time of Muhammad. When is the first copy found?
Well, the earliest one. Let me see. Do I have anything for the earliest one up here? I'm going to go with the 8th century. I'm going to go with the scholars say with the 8th century. 8th, 9th century. If you want to give me an early one, feel free. Just show me the 9th.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll go with the 8th, 9th century. I'll go with that.
No, you say you're going with the 8th century.
Sure. Well, I'm going to go better. The first Quranic text is the Dome of the Rock, Abd al-Malik's thesis.
What year?
So that's 8th century.
8th century.
That's 8th century.
So,
Yeah.
this is why you sleep and not paying attention to the knowledge.
Okay.
Because if this is 9th century, that he says is the catalyst to the development of what we know is the Quran of Muhammad, then he just sat here and said, well, the Quran has to be attributed to what century? Don't be quiet now.
8th century.
8th century. What's before 9th? 9th? What? 8th century. Don't act quiet now. So listen, real quick, I'm gonna give you the mic. So if you want to tell us that to be a catalyst means that it is beginning here and it is helping to develop the Quran coming later, that means that there cannot be an 8th century product that is called the Holy Quran. So he's giving you two different statements and out of the same breath. That's fork-tongued scholarship.
Okay.
Hold up. Now, does the Quran itself, the ones that the Muslims claim is from Muhammad, does it claim that it is something new and does not have anything of its past or the things that preceded it amongst its teaching?
Let me answer your question. First, let me contextualize what I said with respect to the first Quranic text, which is the Ecthesis of Abd al-Malik at the Dome of the Rock. I said it's 8th century. I don't have to fix anything because in my world, 1 always comes from 2, and 8 certainly comes before 9. If I've already maintained that from my perspective, the Quran that would harken back to Islam does not come about until the 9th century, then it only makes sense when Abd al-Malik made his Ecthesis at the Dome of the Rock in the 8th century that there would only be a few Quranic texts because it was not a complete book. You understand? It was not a complete book. So because it was not a complete book, it was not fixed in any way, or you get a few what's called monumental text. In some respects, it's almost a musnad because it's a monumental text. That in no way precludes the fact that in the 9th century, you get this fixed text that is passing itself off as something that existed in that way and form. Because you got to remember, the Muslim diatribe is that the Quran came complete and perfect during the lifetime of Muhammad. That's 7th century. That's 7th century. That's not me saying that. That's not me saying that. So all I'm saying is that if the Quran was perfect in the 7th century, why is it you only have, in the 8th century, Abd al-Malik only has a few Quranic inscription texts, and they're in Kufic. They're in Kufic, which is a monumental script at the time.
Are you talking, you're talking about the Dome of the Rock, correct?
I'm talking about the Dome of the Rock.
Now, are you insinuating that they did not have, the entire Quran? Because first of all, in the debate, I'm going to smash you and show you Quran early 8th century. Clear. Secondly, when you're talking about a Dome of the Rock, so you're talking about an inscription. What are you saying? That all 114 chapters of the Quran had to be on that dome in order for it to be authenticated that the Quran was in its fullness?
No, but I will say this. Let me say, hold on. I will say this. Let's say this about the inscription. Oh, this is important. In the inscription, there are, what do you call it? I think it's called Bismillah. What do you call it?
Well, Bismillah.
Right.
The name Bismillah.
Right.
We begin.
Right. None of that is present in the inscription on the Dome of the Rock.
Yes, it is.
So it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm not saying correctly then. The fact still remains that when you look at the Dome of the Rock, the language is still reflecting the Arab Christianity of the time. And now, there's nothing that you can say to change that. And that has been my argument from day one. I said it at the debate in Brooklyn. I'll say it again now. There's nothing you can say to change the fact that the terminology being used at that time was Arabian Christian terminology.
Give me the terminology now.
Allah, Muhammad.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
So you can throw out names.
No problem.
So show me in their text.
Abid?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Show me in their text. Well, see, this is why I asked you the first question, but
Okay.
you're mixing it up.
Y'all want to
Sure.
see this?
Show me in the text.
Right.
Show me in the text where it says Muhammad and inserting that to mean Jesus. Show us in the text. Go to the Bible. Go to the New Testament. Show me where Muhammad, that word, is contributed to Jesus or Isa, peace be upon him.
Okay. Now I'm going to say this again, because apparently you weren't paying attention during the lecture.
I seen it.
No, stop for a second. Stop for a second.
This is oriental.
Okay, well, stop for a second. Okay, so you call it, okay, so Wesley Muhammad taught you a new word, no problem. I have no problem with that. What I'm saying to you is this.
Believe that.
What I'm saying to you is this. The terms used, matter of fact, could you go forward to the Syriac Orthodox Church?
Oh, you just can't.
No, I know. You got it here?
You don't know.
Go forward to the Syriac Orthodox Church. No, you went to the wrong direction, bro. Go forward to the Syriac Orthodox Church. Okay? That was the reason why I there's a reason why I broke everything down in pieces. I showed you that the term Allah was Syriac. I didn't make that up. Did I make that up? Did I make that up? That the term Allah is Syriac and Aramaic. Did I make it up?
No.
Did I show it to you?
Yes, sir.
Did I show you that the term Allah, Syriac, Hamid, Qur'ania, Did I make this up? Is this, are those Hebrew words? Are those Christian words? Are they Syriac words? Yes or no?
Syriac.
Do you remember what you saw?
The father, the
It's all about what you saw. It's not, hold on, it's not about what I'm saying. What I'm saying has no importance. What you saw is everything. What you saw is everything. See, what he's going to do is, he's going to try to make you forget what you saw. No, he is. He's going to try to make you forget what you saw. So, now. Hold on, do me a favor. Keep going.
While he's on that, can I say something?
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to answer your question.
Let me say something while he's on it.
In a second. Here you go.
Okay, because you know.
No, I got you. Here you go. I got you. Keep going.
I just asked him the second question. I asked him the second question.
Keep going. We're almost there.
Did the Quran claim
Keep going.
that all things that
Keep going.
it was not part
So go back. Right there. The Syriac Orthodox Church of Antioch employs the oldest surviving liturgy in Christianity, the liturgy of St. James the Apostle, and uses Syriac as its official liturgic language. Syriac, the word God in Syriac, I think I didn't prove it because I didn't show it, is Allah. No. Hold on.
Allah. Madrasa. It's on video.
Okay, Allah. Okay, so guys, there's a big difference between Allah and Allah. Okay, yeah.
Wait a minute. You put this right.
Okay, hold on 1 second. No. Here we go. The Syriac is important because it's going to answer this question. Hold on. So you got to be able to read and extract from what you're reading. Look at this. Number 2, the Syriac liturgy of St. James. Remember, it's in the Syriac language, right? It's traceable to a period at least antecedent to the Council of Chalcedon. That means that this liturgy that they were speaking in Syriac predates the Council of Chalcedon. Let's look at when the Council of Chalcedon was. The Council of Chalcedon, the 4th ecumenical council of the Christian church, held in Chalcedon in 451. 451. That means that language, Quran, Allah, Muhammad, was all there before there was Islam. That answers your question.
First of all, good try. Good try.
We go on from roller skate to roller skate shop. That's what we doing right now. Yeah, that's what we doing. Look, none of them will be able to tell me exactly what you just said. But look, let me break it down. Let's break this down.
So you guys are stupid.
No, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you. All of you to raise your hand. Now, when he put up the language.
Y'all can't read.
Hold up. When he put up the language, it's the father or the mother of Arabic, which you showed the people, so I know y'all was watching, right? It said Nabatain, for one. And then before that, it said what? The parent systems, which was, one was Syriac. And then before that was what? Aramaic. So when you got Aramaic, you also have Allah in Aramaic. The Quran and the teachings of Islam, wait. The teachings of Islam never says, you will never be able to show us in the Quran itself that these words or certain words or the name of the creator that we're using did not pre-exist. Rather, we know they pre-exist by the name of the people before they accepted Islam. Hence the word Abdullah. That's the example. Abdullah. These names are historically there. These names are historically there before the Prophet Muhammad even came. So,
You know,
Muslims already know that.
So hold on. So what I'm saying, rather than he and I take a position that's contentious, I think for the most part, sometimes people can be agreeing on something, and the demeanor can be argumentative, and it'll appear for argument. I think what he's saying is basically that. Actually, you're saying something that I've said numerous times, and I think I said that at the beginning of this lecture. That, oh, by the way, guys, you need to know, me and Bashir do this all the time. We do this whether we're in the street or in the subway. This is what we do. I said earlier that to a large extent, the Quran does not lie about these things. The Quran doesn't lie about it, and for the most part, Muslims don't lie about it. What you need to understand, however, is that just like ancient Egypt, I want you to understand this now.
You said Muslims don't lie about what?
Hold on.
No, I want to hear you say that again.
Hold on. If you have, like right now.
Because they've been lying to us for years, brother.
Hold on, stop for a second.
All right, go ahead. Don't let him
right
make you
now,
soft. Don't get soft on
he
him.
would be lying right now if he said that what I said was not true. He's not saying that what I said was not true. What he is saying is that the Quran and Muslims themselves bear witness to that. So why am I trying to make it appear as if they don't? Am I correct?
That's part of the reason.
Yeah, you're right. So at least that's part of it. So I'm trying to understand them rather than to be argumentative with them. Because if we're argumentative, it's more ego than knowledge. I didn't come to, my goal is not to bash Islam. My goal is twofold. To get you to look at it, to furnish you with evidence that I know you've been deprived of, because people think we can't think and they never want us to think for ourselves. And two, for the most part, to illustrate to you that there is little to nothing that is African in the content, other than the fact that because they were appropriating literature from other peoples, even by force, that yeah, so what, you're going to find some of our stuff up in it. But it didn't get there through love and through God and through somebody getting a book in the cave. It got there because when the Abbasids and probably even the Umayyads, when they came to power, I showed you some documentation that said in that period of time, books were worth more than money. In fact, a war was avoided because the Byzantine Roman Empire agreed to give the Abbasids a book, the Almagest, that they wanted, Ptolemy's Almagest that they wanted, because they wanted the knowledge. Knowledge was the currency of the ancient world. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's not to tell you that, well, I do want to say, this is important, I'll let you actually say the next thing. This is something I want everybody to understand. We have to be careful when we beat up, and I have to say this on his behalf, or any Muslim's behalf, or even on a Christian's behalf or a Jewish person's behalf. We have to be careful when we beat up on people because of their mythology. Why do I say that? Because even ancient Egypt had its mythology. You understand what I'm saying? So when people start asking me about the ancestry of ancient Egypt and they begin to talk about Osiris and Isis and Horus and these are literal walking around ancestors, I have to say, wait a minute. Don't confuse Narma, Imhotep, Menes, Scorpion, Aha, and Kagemi and Ptah, people who were corporeal, who lived, walked, and breathed, went to the bathroom like we do and had sex, blah, blah, blah. Don't confuse these people with ancient Kemet's mythological, cosmological worldview. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there is, I would say this, that the ancient Egyptian, if you want to get into an argument and a debate, it would be whose mythology is superior. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because you have Christians that want you to believe that there was a Jesus walking around. You have Christians who want you to believe all kinds of things about the Bible. But what they're not going to tell you is that their mythological era is called the apostolic age. When they start naming all of these apostles that did this, and this disciple that did this, none of these people who ever existed. That's their mythological age. And then from their mythological age, they begin to live out this history. And then as it goes on, you get writers like Josephus and other writers, Christian apologists who come along later, especially the early church fathers, Irenaeus, Augustine, the list goes on and on, right? Then they begin to rewrite, or they begin to write and superimpose a history. There's a word, I gave you a list of words at the beginning. Take this to the very first page. I gave you a list of words at the very first lecture that you had to improve your vocabulary. And it's because we don't include our vocabulary that we have these problems. I said you have to learn these words. If you got a pen and a paper, take it out now and write these words down so that we can stop getting into arguments about things that don't need to be argued about. Apologist, polemic. The most important word up there is number 3. Pseudepigrapha. Tell them what pseudepigrapha is, because you read English.
I'll look it up in the dictionary.
Okay. Now I read English. I don't read Arabic. But I read some motherfucking English. And pardon my French. It's German actually. Fornication under consent of the king is an acronym. Okay? The most important word you can ever learn in your life that will keep people from making you look stupid is word number 3. Word number 3 is pseudepigrapha. what it means. It means the literal definition means false superscription. It means false superscription. It means a body of work that someone wrote and then they attributed it to a figure in the past. So it's like if I write something today and then I try to tell you that Martin Luther King actually wrote this and then I present it. I say, look, I found this in my family's attic. Martin Luther King wrote this and I found it yesterday. Nobody knows that I actually wrote this. See, the problem is we don't study the histories of fakes and forgeries, and I would highly suggest you do. You really do. Something I can't talk about now because I'm saving them for my upcoming lecture and I don't want to get the Hebrews the legs up, the black Hebrew Israelites. But I can tell you right now, the one word that's going to haunt them is word number 3. Word number 3 alone. Stop, I don't mean to disrespect Brother Polite, I don't mean to disrespect Brother Reggie. But with word number 3 alone, any one of you could defeat the Hebrew Israelites in a debate. And because you can defeat the Hebrew Israelites in a debate, that word will enable you to defeat the Christians and the Islamists too. Why? Because theirs is based on the Hebrew text, which is all pseudepigrapha. It's already, all of the scholarly consensus, not Shakka, the scholars, the biblical scholars, and I'll show you the documentation. They've already said it. Genesis is pseudepigrapha. Exodus, pseudepigrapha. John, Mark, Matthew, Luke, all pseudepigrapha. So if it's pseudepigrapha, why are we even talking about it? It's already been condemned as a fake by the experts, not by Shakka.
Hey, brother Iman, you've been here. Hold up, you're gonna ask a question. You've been here for the last Tuesday to see Shakka Ahmose. No, they can hear me. You've been here for this one. After watching his evidence, is Islam an African religion?
That's all I'm asking.
Of course it is.
And you still say it is?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Why?
See, I'll answer why in a short manner. See, the first thing that we're not understanding, and the reason why we're not understanding it is because essentially we have detached ourselves from true spirituality and has engaged into Eurocentric philosophy. Pay attention and listen, and maybe you'll learn. Because you can still learn, sir. What I'm telling you is that you are rejecting the essence of a creator. And by rejecting the essence of the creator, you cannot understand how these spiritual systems run parallel around everybody on the planet. So if everybody on the planet, besides our European counterparts, they are the ones that initiated an atheistic movement, a movement that fought against the creator. So therefore, by their philosophy, you are embracing and trying to philosophize things in a historical manner. So hold up. Although history does play a part of understanding sound knowledge. Well, wait, let me tie it together. For instance, on this, you put the Christians and the Jews, because you quoted Karl Heinz, this cracker devil, which we know Karl Heinz. Many of them probably don't know Karl Heinz and his agenda, but I know Karl Heinz because I studied that book, The Historical Origins of Islam. I have that book in my library.
I told you about it, so
no, stop trying to take all the credit for everything,
but
brother.
I did.
That book was written not by you. If it was written by you, then you could say you told me.
I told you about it.
We had it before you even brought it on some side of the TV. You didn't even bring it to the debate, man. Come on, stop playing.
I didn't, he just said I didn't bring it to the debate. I walked on stage and held it in my hand.
What I say?
Oh my God.
Don't take everything I say literally, family. Don't take everything, I was there. What I'm saying is, you didn't show up on time, brother, to present the information. That's what I'm saying. So you include coming in 20 minutes before the bell rang. Okay, whatever, man. But this is what I'm saying. Let me make this short and sweet. So, on your presentation, you essentially said that, using a quote from Karl Heinz, that the Muslims, got monotheism from the Jews and the Christians. Your slide, you deny that? You want to deny that?
I said the Muslims.
Monotheistic came from the Jews and the Christians. That's what your slide said that you used from Karl Heinz.
You don't remember them. We'll refer back to the tape. Sure. So, when you look at the tape and you see that Karl Heinz said that the Jews and the Christians were the one that introduced monotheism to those Arabs that turned into Muslims.
It said that. Let's go. Can we go to Karl Heinz and go to the historical origin of Islam?
There you go. This one that said he's on there. Now this go ahead, find it. I'm still talk. But listen. But this is my point. Now, if that is true,
That's two.
if that is true, you got it up there? I think it's the next one. Wait, here it is. Here it is right here. Actually, this is Karl Heinz. Actually concerns Christian texts and symbols talk about the Dome of the Rock, theological ideas that God is one and single, and that the one he has sent, Jesus, is to be praised, Muhammad. Right? Now, this is talking about they got monotheism from...
No, don't say it's talking about, where does it say it? That he said
brother, it says here that they got these Arabian theological ideas from these documents of Syrian Arabian theological ideas coming from the Christian text, brother, and symbols. So it's saying...
What he said is that it's...
Listen, we won't read what it says. Thank you, brother. We won't read what it says. So it says that God is one and single. Is it...
Stop getting into the question. If we're going to read, then let's read. That's what I do professionally. Okay? Check this out. It says... and if anybody hears it say that it says that the Muslims got monotheism from the Christians and the Jews, please tell me if it said that somewhere, because apparently I can't read. It will be proven that the numismatic discoveries from this period, as well as the inscription on the Dome of the Rock, actually concerns Christian texts and symbols which document Syrian Arabian theological ideas that God is one and single. So from that sentence alone, it's telling me that this is Syrian Arabian theological ideas. So it's saying that it's the Arabs' own Christian concepts that God is one and single. Not that they got it from Jews, or it's saying, no, we're not saying the same thing, right? It said that they were Arab Christians. Yeah, they were Arab Christians, or what they call Mahomna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Christians, the Christians, right?
And
the Christians essentially, they're embracing, this is all talking about Christianity and Jesus, right?
Yeah.
And that it's Muhammad. Jesus is Muhammad, essentially. Well, yeah, this is what the Oriental is going into.
Yeah.
So, this is my point. My point is that Karl Heinz, one, is a Christian. Okay, and he's pushing the Christianity. Okay. This is what he's doing.
When you read, he pushes this on?
Yes. But what I'm saying is that we can go further back and see that monotheism extends all the way back to Egypt. So, So my point is that why are you stopping? Why would you just stop here to show that, oh, they got it from here? It's the same thing you did with the Syrian text. You said all of this is coming from Syria. Although there is parent languages to Syriac that use the same language and use the same wording, and we already know that Aramaic, Hebrew, and Arabic, they are very similar. We already know that. And in fact, if you ask a Muslim, well, what did Jesus speak? They would tell you he spoke what? Either Aramaic or Hebrew. So the context of those languages is already in the Quran, which we agreed to. Yes. So this is the point that I'm making to them. The point that I'm making to them is that when you see this information, it would appear as if, and you make it appear as if the Muslims don't already know it. Just like the House of Wisdom. You're making it appear that we don't know that the House of Wisdom ushered in a lot of the sciences that we know today, and a lot of the mathematics that we know today. Not from Kemet, but exactly from the House of Islam. The House of Islam brought in the algebra, which you can't show in Kemet.
Oh.
Well, hold up.
You heard it. Hold up. You heard it. He said, I can't show the algebra.
You can't show algebra in Kemet.
You heard it. That's all I want. I got it on camera.
Show it. Wait till he shows it. Secondly, the numbers that we use today, the 0 to 9, comes from what? It comes from the House of Wisdom. It comes from Islam. That number system that we use today, the number 0 all the way to 9. It don't come from nowhere else on the planet. It comes from the Muslims. But this is my last question that I have to ask. Yeah. Or maybe two. So
wait a minute, didn't it say, he said it came from the Muslims? Didn't my documentation say that the Muslims had Christian clerics doing their math and their science?
Yes, sir.
First of all,
Look. Get ahead, Shakka.
Go ahead.
you get the mic back.
You really believe that they're stupid? They didn't even read what I showed them. You need to stop walking in and out. That's the problem. Alright? Nah, talk that shit. Nah, let's go. Give me my house of wisdom. Let's see what the Arabs did, what the Muslims did with mathematics and science. Come on, baby. Come on, Pop. I'm an insomniac. When you're sleeping, I'm studying. Okay? Let's go. I don't sleep. That's the whole point. You should know what an insomniac is. House of wisdom. I'm gonna get you a dictionary for your birthday. Here we go. Oh, and let me clarify something. Hold on. I want to clarify something. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. I want to clarify something. Because you seem to be, because you said the same thing at our debate, which I supposedly reneged on. Let me clarify something. I came into the debate, and if I say one thing that's false, son, because you were there, he thinks he was the only one that was there. You were there, son. He believes he was the only one in the building. When I walked in the building, what did the audience do as soon as I walked in?
They clapped.
Thunderously.
Thunderous clap.
Okay. I was an hour late. I took a cab. I got stuck on the highway. I had no control of the traffic. A certain Muslim Imam Bashir told the audience, because everybody ran up to me and told me since I walked in. He said that, no, he didn't just say I wasn't going to show up. He said that he had a vision from Allah that I wasn't going to show up. That's on my mother. That's on my mother. No, I don't lie on my mother. I don't lie on my mother. Okay, I made it up. I made it up. I made it up. Okay, I made it up. And then you clarified what you said, which is pretty much the same thing. It was a whole bunch of third parties. All right, but hold on. And then, and then he said, hold on a second. I'm just telling the truth. My honest conversation.
Come on, man.
So anyway, so I go on stage, I got the book, the historical origin of Islam in my hand. He said I didn't present no information. Now hold on 1 second. He had a PowerPoint. I had no PowerPoint at the time because at the time I didn't know how to use it. Nobody would show me. Polite really didn't have time. And so I said, you know what? I said, I don't want to disappoint the Kemetic community, or just my people in general, and not show up. I said, if I don't have no PowerPoint, I said, a scholar knows their scholarship whether they got the PowerPoint or not. So I just go up there, introduce them to the text, give them something that they've never heard before, because to me, for you to teach me, I care who you are. If you can't teach me something I've never heard before, you can't see me. You can't even come past my front door. That's real talk. My savior right there, Brother Reggie. Brother Reggie will show you something in the text of ancient Kemet that will change your life in a split second. Real talk, and he'll do it over and over and over again. That's a scholar. That's a real scholar. Okay? Now let me share something with you. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. His thing is this. For some reason, see, that's that paternalistic bullshit that Muslims and Christians and Jews like to come at us with. Because we worship the deity of our ancestors, we are therefore atheist, paganistic, and all these other derogatory names they call us. Real? Fuck you with that. Real talk. It's like all you motherfuckers. Fuck y'all with that. Alright? We taught you about God. So stop with that shit. No, I'm going real about it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay? Alright, that's what it is. Oh no, I gotta end it with all due respect. With all due respect. Okay? But go ahead with that bullshit. We gave you God. Look at the Prince Papyrus. It's in the Bibliothèque de France. All you see in the Egyptian text is God. This about God. God, plural, the singular. God. You said yourself. It goes back. You said yourself. Monotheism goes back to Egypt.
Yeah.
And in the next minute, you're going to tell those of us who subscribe to our Kemetic ancestry that we're pagans. You confused. You are a confused individual. Oh, you did. Oh. He said, did he say that?
I said you was a damn pagan.
All right, bro. Here we go. House of Wisdom, because we're going to see what these Arabs, these Muslims did. House of Wisdom by Al-Hikmah was a library, translation institute, and research center established in Abbasid era Baghdad, Iraq. It was a key institution in the translation movement. All right, so y'all had so much shit of your own, but you was translating to everybody else's work. And it is considered, and couldn't even do the damn translations yourself, because y'all was too stupid, had to get Christians, and well, I'm going to let the documentation speak. It was a key institution in the translation movement, and it's considered to have been a major intellectual hub during the Islamic Golden Age. The House of Wisdom was founded by Caliph Harun al-Rashid and culminated under his son Al-Mamun, who reigned from 813 to 833 and is credited with its institution. Al-Mamun is also credited with bringing many well-known scholars to share information, ideas, and culture in the House of Wisdom. But no, according to you, it's just the Muslims. He bringing in all kinds of people to share their shit, but you want to tell us it was yours. Okay, no problem. Based in Baghdad from the 9th to 13th century, many learned scholars, including those of, say it people, what? And Persian and Christian backgrounds. But he wants you to think it's the Muslims that's doing the thinking. Hold on, and I'm going to tell you why they weren't the Muslims doing the thinking. Because it was the Christians who were the clericals underneath both the Persians and the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium. All of the clerics were Christians. That's why these Muslims are bringing in the Christians. Today they're killing Christians. Today they're like, get the hell out of Baghdad, get the hell out of Syria. They even, look what the Muslims do to the Christians, the Arabs do to the Christians in Egypt, the Coptic Christians. They kill them, they slaughter them. After the Christians then gave you all the knowledge they stole from us in Egypt, then y'all want to get rid of them and claim everything for yourself. I'm not stupid, my dude. Yo, go to the next one. Go to the next one, because you're a clown, man. Y'all got it straight up. Besides translating books to Arabic and preserving them, scholars associated with the House of Wisdom also made many remarkable original contributions to diverse fields. No problem. During the reign of Al-Mamun, observatories were set up, and the house was an unrivaled center for the study of humanity and for science. In medieval Islam, goat herders went to creating mathematics, astronomy, medicine, alchemy, chemistry, zoology, geography, cartography, drawing on, hold on, the Muslims did everything. Yeah. So these must have been Indian, Greek, and Persian Muslims. Drawing on Indian, Greek, and Persian texts. And they say nothing about no Arabic text. And they say nothing about no Arabic text. Hold on, no. You just sat there in front of the camera and lied to little black children at home that Muslims got these big brains and they created all of this shit. But hold on 1 second. They are drawing from, where's that? Drawing on. Let me explain what drawing on means. It means you take somebody else's shit. Okay? That's what it means. Okay? Drawing on, it doesn't mean drawing graffiti on the wall. Drawing on anything, I gotta break shit down for you into little pieces. You need to leave Arabic alone to get back to English. Leave the Arabic alone and get back to English. Alright, that's what's up. Here you go. Alright, no problem. Drawing on Indian, Greek, and Persian texts, the scholars accumulated a great collection of world knowledge and built on it through their own discoveries. No problem. And you're discovering shit because you stole everybody's shit. By the middle of the 9th century, the House of Wisdom was the largest repository of books in the world. Now, here's the problem. 90% of them books didn't come from Muslims and Arabs. We know where they came from. Go to the next slide. That's this House of Wisdom too. Libraries included the Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria. Learn. Hold on, he's telling me to learn, but these Muslims had to go to Egypt to learn. So he wants you to think that, dude, he wants you to think, I mean, goddamn, dude, you should literally be banned from the black community, because that's some insulting shit. Real talk, dude. You're going to insult people to their face. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Libraries included the Library of Alexandria. Hold on. Hey, guys, I got something for you. Hold on, I got something for you. I didn't break this down for you before. Look at this. It says, the libraries included the Library of Alexandria and the Imperial Library of Constantinople. Do you know that the Imperial Library of Constantinople was a Christian library? So you don't know that. So here they are, they're stealing from the Greeks, from the Roman Christians in Egypt, Cyril, Alexander, all the rest of these patriarchs, Sylvester, so on and so on, right? You're stealing from them, and then you're stealing from the Christians of Constantinople. Because what is Constantinople? That's the Eastern Roman Empire, the seat of Christianity, Byzantium. In fact, that was the seat of Christianity. But we know how they filled their libraries up. They stole them from Egypt. There's a translation movement in Egypt that they don't tell you about. I can tell you all about it. And I don't need a PowerPoint for it. All right. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Okay, now, libraries included the library. Okay, somebody even talking about. Hey, Wesley Muhammad, you gonna keep your babies coming in here getting spanked like this? You need to show yourself. Real talk. If you gonna send your babies in here, Ali Muhammad, yo, real talk. No, I tell you what. Wesley, I said I wouldn't debate you. I will give it to you. Real talk. Yeah.
We gotta get ready to break out. You wanna?
All right, real fast. Look at this. Hold on.
Man, because we gonna be able to get out.
It contained Greek and Christian books about medicine, alchemy, and other disciplines.
They gonna cut the lights out.
Dude. Hold on. The Umayyads also joined many ancient intellectual centers under their rule. Oh, wait a minute. And employed Christian and Persian scholars to both translate work. Now hold on. I want you to see how dumb he is. Hold on, I want you to see this. They had to employ,
come on, man.
Yo, hold him down 1 second. Yo, look. They had to employ Christian and Persian scholars to translate it into Arabic. They couldn't even translate the shit into Arabic themselves. That's how stupid these motherfuckers were. That's how stupid they were. Sanetta, look at this. Now look at this. Look. They had to employ, Sanetta, look at this. They had to employ Christian and Persian scholars to both translate works into Arabic. They couldn't even translate the shit into Arabic themselves. That's how stupid they were. And he wanted me to believe that the man, done, smoke, over.